Oh, David, Majid, Wookie Wookie. That's a funny name. How are you guys? Thank you. Last night, why did I have a live talk? I didn't have a live talk yesterday, last night. Ravi says, a year since my divorce and Bitcoin. What? 1 year since my divorce and Bitcoin. Lol. Thanks, sir. Useful videos. Okay. But what's the relevance between the divorce and the Bitcoin? What are you talking about? And Brenda, hi there. And Stien, 26-year-old male from Norway, thank you for remembering the protocol. Stien, I appreciate that. He says, hello Mehran, good to see you too. I mean, I don't see you, but good that you're here. And Ravi says, my home is good, warm in winter. Well, okay then. All right. David, Dallas 23, Texas. Yes, that's right. All right, so let me close this. Still the memory disk is full. All right. Excalibur. Mehran is in the house. He says, okay, yes. Time to relax with my tea. Chinese green tea. Ah, good. I found a new tea a few days ago. I haven't tried it yet. It's green tea and I forgot what it is. It seemed nice. Lots of some berries and things in it, and it's got green tea in it, so I may try it, but I haven't had a real tea, I mean like green tea or black tea, for I don't know, a year. All herbal. Like this is one of my new favorites. I mean, I always liked it, but more now. Chamomile. Hello, Victor. David says, I finally have a question. Ah, okay. Let's have it. Maybe Excalibur. David says, what is your opinion on chasing a career that provides a lot of money versus one that you would be happy with? Well, you know, we live in a relative world. As much as we love to have to be engaged in only what we love to do, which is my preference, but we also have to recognize that sometimes in order to reach to the stage and the state that we are looking for to do what we love to do, we need some money in order to take care of the basics and then have a little bit more time and flexibility to pursue what we love to do, and then eventually make that what we love to do to be the main thing that brings us the economic well-being, and then enjoy it from there. But to begin with, we need some cushion, and that cushion would be the money. So perhaps you may want to chase that career to gives you lots of money, if that seems to be really viable, and not a pie in the sky to waste your time, so you wouldn't need to have the money nor what you love to do. And then once you got to a stage that you feel, okay, I'm now secure, and in the meantime, do what you love to do on a smaller scale, just to keep the fire going, just to keep building the basics of it. Not that it would distract you from the money-making project, that you will lose that chance by constantly focusing on what you love to do more than you should, more than it would be economically viable. And then once you found that happy medium and you found that basics and the foundation is set, then you can move into this one that you've been building gradually as well, while you were, pursuing your money-making career. Because eventually you want to do what you love to do. I have done many, many different things in my life. I have pursued money like bat out of hell. I have been vigorous in putting my energy into becoming a millionaire and finding that I have done things that not most people would want to do or be able to do, or want to research it enough or to learn it and then pursue it. International contracts, international trade, importing, exporting, computers, learning, working for companies, working for bank, all sorts of things too. And even learning the insurance ins and outs. And at one time when I was very young, I did all these trainings, and many entrepreneurial projects, many of them. So I learned a lot by being a one-man show, and from making my own catalogs and my own products and getting distributorships and selling it to different countries, and moving, taking this stuff and going to the countries, making appointments with big corporations, seeing them, all kinds of things that you would think you would want to do. And big deals, sulfur, oil, you name it. But eventually, you would want to do what your calling is, what you love to do. And it may not make you the kind of money that you would be making from other things. Even you can see it clear that you would be making a lot more money. One of the businesses that I have been, doing for 28 years is real estate. And I'm very good at it, very knowledgeable and very good at it. However, it doesn't give me any satisfaction. I don't like it. I'm very good at it. I help people, make them lots of money, and do the best contracts for them. I'm very good at it. But I don't get the enjoyment that I get from doing this, what I love to do. That makes a whole lot of difference in quality of life. Now, when you start making enough money from what you love to do, to have the lifestyle that you enjoy, and to bring that feeling of that you're being helpful, you're making a difference, and at the same time you enjoy doing it, all of that is a complete package. You would enjoy that money, even though less than one good deal in real estate could give me thousands and thousands of dollars. Could be anywhere from $20,000 to $100,000 or $200,000. But is life all about making money? You make money to create that feeling of I've done something good. I am in a good place. And if the process of making money does not give you that feeling, well, then it's not the career that you want to spend all your life at. Because the whole thing is about being happy. feeling useful, feeling fulfilled, intellectually being stimulated and satisfied to share what can heal people, take the pain away, enlighten them, through which you can also be enlightened yourself. These are some of the things that makes me tick. You got to find what makes you tick. When you guys are very young, as I was, money is very important. It's all you can think of. Money and girls. I mean, depending on whatever it is that you like, you know. If you're a girl, you like boys. You're a boy, you like girl, or whatever your gender is, whatever your interest is. When you're young, all you think about is money and love. But eventually you will come to focus on the whole package of experience of life, happiness, and everything will be falling into its place. Everything will have its own worth and value and credit number, not more. Like having a girlfriend will not become the ultimate purpose of your life. It will have its important place, and you will be great to your girlfriend or to your wife. You would love them, appreciate them, be good to them, and everything. But it wouldn't define you as the wholehearted, complete human being that you want to be. It will be a big part of it. But there will be other things that you want to learn, accomplish, share, make a difference in life, and elevate yourself through that knowledge and research and activities and effects that you leave on the society, the kind of role model you become for yourself, and then perhaps for others, whoever wish it to be. So that is what you would be pursuing. So having that in mind, right now, at this young age, go for the money. And keep the flame of what you love to do being right beside you. Don't forget it. And make the groundworks for it, the foundation for it. And then eventually, when the time is right, you will be falling into it without you even wanting or planning, like it happened for me as well. 55 years in the making, 57 years in the making, and somehow when the fruit was ripe from the tree, it falls. When I was ready with all the stuff I was learning and experiencing in life from childhood, youth, teenage time, university time, work time, younger age, all of that, and eventually it seemed to be ready enough. At a certain stage, everything opened up for me to start and continue what I'm doing, which we are now here. So, be realistic. We are living in a relative world. It's not an absolute universe. Not everything will be exactly as you want it. So take care of the economics so you can afford to think and be active in what you love to do and the lifestyle that you prefer to have. That's what I have to say about that. All right. Let's see what we have here. You're welcome, David. Avatar says, hi, Mehran. Hello, Avatar. Stien. Stien drinks chamomile tea as well. Frank says, Mr. Frank says, hi, Mehran. Listen, guys, hi, Mehran is not enough. Remember where you're tuning in from, how old you are, if you're a man or a woman, whatever your gender is. That will help me to know who I'm talking with, how to deliver my answers to, and at least to know my demographics. That would be great. Adam. Hello, Adam. Long time, I guess. Mr. Frank says, I really appreciate your work and all your videos. I'm delighted to hear that. Frank says, I'm a man, 29 years from Romania. Oh, Romania, my goodness. Delighted to hear that. I love it that everybody's from so different places. Isn't that wonderful? Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could somehow be able to have, the channel would have enough financing that we could arrange a place somewhere in Europe and we would have a whole weekend discussing thoughts, consciousness, fear, desire, ego, relationships, breakups, all the things that you might want to share with me. And then that would be a wonderful weekend. But it all could happen one day when we are well known around the world. Carrie says, hello, I'm here. This is Carrie. Hello, Carrie. Good to see you. It's been a long time. Now you're kind of, I think it's the second time or third time you joined. You were part of the group that would participate on my Facebook live talks in the past, no? Is that where you found me, or you found me on the YouTube? Ravi says, I have a question. All right. Having passive income is a dream. I was unable to make it happen so far. I'm keen to fix my finances first before another relationship. Am I shooting myself in the foot? Well, it is always important to fix your finances. That is not shooting yourself in the foot at any time. But waiting until you have money to pursue companionship, love, and find a girlfriend suitable to you, that is something that you think you can arrange it, or you can organize it. It's not really up to you. But what you need to do is at least be open. Don't say, you won't even say, when you find the right girl for you at that moment, and later on you may find it wasn't the right girl, but at a certain moment you may think this is the right girl, you are so busy with fixing your finances, you wouldn't care. You would still entertain the idea and get to know her and so on. So it's not something that you can really say this or that, I wait for this until finances are fixed, then I'll look for it. No, it's not up to you. Even if you're looking for a girlfriend, you may not find it right away. So it's not really up to you. It's up to the way the river flows, the way the life goes. So you keep being busy in fixing your finances, that's for sure. But on your path, on your days, I'm sure you will meet somebody. And if you do, be open for it. Don't don't say, oh no, I have to fix my finances. Well, if you think you fix your finances, then the girls will stick around. Not necessarily. They may stick around for a while, but if you guys don't hit it on the consciousness level, compatibility, harmony, it won't last. Doesn't matter if you have money or you don't. And if you don't have much money, but you guys are really good to each other and appreciate each other, take care of each other, and if that girl is decent and normal and balanced, she would see the quality and the security, emotional security as well. She will not be making a fuss about not having enough money. Who does? Most people, even if they have money, get together, they may lose that money or things may change. So is that now time for the girl to leave? If that's the case, well, the girl was never a qualified girl for you. So it has to have, maybe it has a little bit, you got to have some money to be able to help each other, both of you. But it cannot be only because of money. And if that's what you think, the kind of girl you're looking for that comes for money, then she'll also leave for money. If they come for money, they also leave for money. When you have it, they stick around. When you don't have it, they leave. Is that what the kind of a relationship you want? So you got to look for a girl, a woman who is a real good human being. is not looking for money, it's looking for compatibility, communication, exchange of ideas, bonding on consciousness level, building something together, loyalty, trust, communication. These are all the things that usually, boys and girls, two people who want to be in love and want to choose each other would look for. Otherwise, no amount of money is going to... How many people have gotten married into money and then they got divorced? It didn't hold it. It was a motivator for them maybe to choose each other because of money, but it didn't hold them together because they got separated. And, also the other side of it is true. How many people, when they don't have money, they separate because money is also a problem. When you don't have it, there's going to be arguments, there's going to be desires that you want this, you want that. Selfishness comes to the picture, necessities come to the picture. All of that, then it ends up argument about and because there's not enough money. So, a balance is what you should focus on. Got to take care of the finances, and also be generous in and open to find your companion, your love, and at least someone that you're interested in, and then see if that's the girl they can fall in love with. Because you don't fall in love right away. What you feel is not really love at the right, first sight. Love develops. Okay, that's a different story for a different day, different topic. Let's go and see what else we have here. And Adam says, Mehran, I'm finding myself alone in this world. You know our discussion about alone, right? And perhaps you find yourself alone because you don't understand your connection with this life. You think the only thing that keeps you from being alone and makes you feel whole are other human beings. So you think you're separated from nature. Nature is here, we humans are here. If we don't want to be alone, we got to be together. That's the only way we can feel connected to the life and environment and things. You've separated yourself from environment instead of knowing that you are part of environment. This whole thing, if somebody from when you look at it this way, you think this is ocean, these are trees, this is environment, and this is me, and this is people. Yeah? And those are animals, just trees, it's mountain, it's ocean, and that's a field, and this is me, this is people. You separate them, right? You don't. But when somebody is coming from a different planet and looks at us, sees the environment having been made from all it's in it, which is us, animals, trees, mountains, oceans, everything is one, connected. They see it as one. We are in it, we don't see ourselves as one with the nature. It's like saying fish thinks that he's fish and then there's ocean. Not that they're both connected so closely. You can't separate yourself from the environment that you're actually living in, part of it. Your sustenance comes from it. Your whole existence is attached. The energy that runs through that whole nature runs through all of you. It's not like the different energy runs through the trees and different energy runs through you. You're all what makes this nature to be what it is. But you have managed to separate yourself from it. But if somebody else looks at us from a different planet, will see us all and say, okay, that's their environment is comprised of this. Trees, ocean, mountain, air, oxygen, humans, animals, these things, that things, they all explains what we are all about. But we ourselves have managed to think, I'm alone if I don't have any other human or relationship or friends. That is a man-made separation because we never understood our connection and oneness, belonging with the nature, with what we are living in. We have separated the water from ourselves, the fish and the water. They're together. They may not be aware of each other's existence, but they're both in the same boat. They're the same. So connected that they're interchangeable. They're just, it's not possible to think of them separately. Ocean and fish. But when we look at the ocean, we see that it's the same, ocean and fish. But the fish itself may not even think that it's swimming in water. It's not conscious about it because it's so it thinks, I'm alone, I gotta find other fishes. Well, you're with the ocean, everything else in it. The energy that runs through the ocean runs through you. It's the same energy that made the ocean and made you. So the energy is what we are, rather than the physical entity that same energy has made it, and we separate ourselves by the physical entity, and we feel we are alone or separated or not the same. But if you think about what we are all made out of, the energy, and that energy flows through all of us in the same way, then we are really not alone ever. We are just much bigger than what we are. Maybe if you're not with it, you may not follow me, but that's probably okay. Let's see the rest of the question. And Adam says, I have no real friends. Okay, I guess we just discussed it. I have learned to deal with my aloneness and with nature, but it is not enough. I'm ready to share this life with a woman. Well, great. And that will come. When you actually have that intent, then you will not easily pass by unnoticed, and you will not pass by not noticing what possibilities are out there. Your energy will be touching and inviting because your intention is in that energy. It doesn't mean you got to go and constantly chat up girls, but when you do, your energy have arrived before you and has already made an impression of, clarity of intent. And you will find someone now that you're interested to find someone. You seem to be ready for it. But just find someone that is not lots of work to discourage you from continuing the relationship. And he says, but I'm constantly let down. All I do is give to others less fortunate than me, and I'm not receiving any results. It's making me depressed as I'm a good person. Well, why do you have to constantly give to the others who are less fortunate? Well, of course it's good to feel for them, but you're less fortunate yourself, aren't you? If you keep giving whatever you have to everybody else, well, you're going to end up being less fortunate. So you got to create a balance. And don't do it just because you want to prove to yourself that you're a good person. It's like a curse. It's like holding yourself hostage. In order for me to be proud of myself and constantly confirm that I'm a good person, I have to actually keep giving everything away and helping others, just not because I'm in a position that I can help others. No, because I want to prove to myself that I deserve to think about myself the way I do. I'm a good person. And for that, you're constantly giving ransom. You're being good to someone so you can feel, see, I'm a good person. I'm doing this because I'm such a good person. So please, whoever is out there and watching, watch me that I'm doing good. So I'm a good person. Give me stuff. That's a kind of a selfishness and expectations of, you're not doing it for nothing. You're doing it because you want to be considered good in the eyes of whatever you have created in your own mind to be the higher self of you or above you, deity or whatever you have created. And you are trying to show off and be judged by that entity that you've created in your own mind, which could be your own thought, which it is your own thought. So you want your own thoughts to think about you, judge about your thinking about yourself, and to confirm that, yes, you're right to think that you're a good person, because I too my higher self, which is your own thought again, I think that, yeah, you are a good person because you're doing good. So it is all about, you've created a certain kind of a affirmation club for yourself, and you're doing it for that reason. And you can't really afford it, but you keep doing it. So it's not really from your heart, is it? You might be from your heart, but if you can't afford it, you shouldn't be doing it. And just for the sake of that you want to score brownie points, that you will be considered a good person in the eyes of whatever you've created, who is judging you and watching you, which is your own thoughts. Or a deity that you think is actually judging you and looking at how good, how much you help people. So, oh yeah, you're a good person. So I'm going to give you a good job. I'm going to find you a girl. Is that why you're doing this? You got to see that clear. And it's not necessary. Just be a good person. Do your best to take care of yourself. And then if you have something that you can afford to give away or help others, and you will. Otherwise, you're being, you know, you're acting as if you're a god. You take a responsibility onto you without having the means for it. And that's because you want to score point with some invisible thing. That's not reasonable. All right. And let's see. Holy Mina. Imane, okay, hello Imane from Algeria. Hello dear. Says, thank you for all the great answers. They were very helpful. We love you, and I love you guys too. Thank you for saying that, dear. And don't stop there. Share the videos on your social media. And like the videos. If you guys, before you forget, like the live stream. It helps us to be recognized on the algorithm of YouTube. Make comments on the videos that you watch, that you like. Share the videos you like on your social media. Help us to be noticed. We are still a long way from being noticed. I get emails every day and I answer them every day, and they're like laundry lists. They're like, I don't know, 5 pages, guys. Kind of, you know, that's kind of a little bit unfair. You know, you're looking for a long story, then go on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, mindthatseekstruth.com. Make an appointment with me for Skype consultation, and then we'll explore it. And that way I can dedicate time. Otherwise, believe me, I'm writing all day long. And as you know, soon my site will be revamped, and the part that you can write emails with your questions will be pay per email now. Yay! Eventually, finally, found the program. After 5 years of free consultations, now everything's going to be pay per consultation. That's the only way we can survive, and I can dedicate more time and perhaps eventually be able to put the seminars here and there in different countries. But all that needs money. See, we're talking about economics. We got to take care of that too. So I respond to everything, but at the same time, we're still not visible, not known. People find us accidentally. When they find us, they can see we have life-changing effects on people, on their lives. And that's delightful to me. However, we still need to be recognized, be noticed, and that needs your help, guys. So as much as I love you all and I appreciate the fact that you guys are enjoying the channels, please do help us to be getting more exposure. And if you can, if you know some entity that wants to do interview with us to put us on the map, such as, I don't know, radio stations, even if you're in university, your radio station wants to interview with us, that's a program for them. They can do that, and I'll be more open, I'm open to that. And so that will help us. All those interviews will help us to, be more noticed out there. So we get back to Amina. Amina says, an advice, please. Okay. She says, should we settle for less than our ex, or the kind of love we always dreamed about? Because I'm 31 and I'm afraid to not get married, or my vision of love is just an illusion. Marriage should not be a destination for you, a goal for you. The quality of a relation should be a goal for you. Because if marriage is your destination, is the goal, is the notion of fulfillment of your plans and goals and achievements and accomplishments, then you may end up with the wrong person, because you didn't focus on who you're marrying, you focused on the actual marriage itself. Oh, finally, okay, well, I wanted to always get married, and so here it is, a chance, so it's almost good, so it's okay, well, but the bigger picture is that I'll be married, and I fulfilled my dream. So you'll be so focused on that achievement, which you would lose the focus on what you're marrying into. It's like you're so focused on, oh, a cake, that you forget to focus on the ingredients of the cake. How is that cake is made? What is it going to make me feel like when I eat it? That is the most important thing. The marriage is not an important thing. The quality of the relationship is. Marriage by itself is not going to keep a relationship together. You sign on a document, that's the same document that you're going to sign another document to nullify it eventually someday. That's how people get divorced. So the idea of that I'm married doesn't give you the security. The idea of compatibility between your consciousness with you and your spouse, or your, second half, is what brings that security. So you need to focus on the idea that the quality of life is what you're looking for, not an estate in life. Somebody becomes a senator in this world, and he thinks he's become somebody. No, you only become a senator if you only think that you should have been a senator and that's it, then you can be a shitty senator and not really serving people, passing the good laws for the benefit of people. So what you put when you're in that position, what you put into it when you're in that powerful position, is what defines you, not the fact that you are a senator. Who gives a shit? What have you become? What are you doing for it? Okay, you made something, a title, an image of you that meets what you were hoping to gain in this life. But what defines you is what you're going to do with it. So you became, married. So many people become married and then they get divorced because it didn't work. Why? Because they were looking for that status of marriage. I'm married now. I just elevated myself. Everybody is trying to get promotion in life, in their jobs, in whatever they're doing, and get better at it. And sometimes we give ourselves a certain kind of a brownie points. And sometimes we just want to elevate ourselves through some kind of a ornamental or some kind of a recognition of some kind. And sometimes it can be, okay, I'm going to get married because then I have elevated myself to Mrs. something, to one of the people who I see they have certain kind of an image when they walk. Oh, that's Mrs. something. She has a ring on her finger. Oh, she's married. So it kind of an echelon. If that's what you're looking for, then you're headed for a disaster. If marriage is going to be where you think you will become somebody, fulfill certain kind of a achievement in life, you're going to be in trouble. Focus on quality of a relationship, of a person that you will be in relationship with. The marriage may happen by itself if it's the right thing. But focusing on the marriage, you will end up just accepting anything that could fill that role so you can accomplish what it is that you've set out that you think it's important for you to accomplish the marriage, the state of being married. So, having said that, let me see the rest of your question. Yeah, okay. The question is that afraid not getting married, or my vision of love is just an illusion. Well, love and marriage are not necessarily the same thing, or, you know, people are married and they're not in love. People are not married and they're in love. And people are married and they're in love. And people are not married and they're not in love. There are all kinds of things. So, love, if you think it resides in a physical connection with someone, that's not love. That could be part of your relationship, loving someone based on their physical attributes or their possessions and so on. But love happens when you guys get to know each other and you bond on consciousness level and you understand how you each are put together, which means you got to understand how you are put together yourself. And if you do that, then you will have a good idea how the other person, your partner, is put together. Then you can tolerate each other. Why? Because you can understand what goes on in your psyche. What are the shortcomings? What are the strong points? Why are you thinking this way? Why are you feeling this way? You will know all that through the knowledge of how you're put together. It's the same to the other person. And then you bond on consciousness level. Then you learn about each other more. Then you become more compatible. Then you have mechanical processes together and you enjoy that. Then it creates an order, and that order creates certain kind of a psychological security in your mind. The mind looks for security in order, and order is created through mechanical processes. When you guys are compatible, your mechanical processes will be similar and you will enjoy it together. That creates a certain order that you both have created without really focusing on it, naturally. And that order would create that certain kind of security in your minds, which is the beginning of feeling there is a certain kind of a psychological security, even though that is an illusion, but at least you will feel naturally bonded. And that's when really there is a love. Otherwise, love is not about, oh, you know, that girl is so pretty, or you like that guy, looks so wonderful, or it's got stuff, so it looks qualified for me to get married. Or she's pretty enough for me to get married to her. These are not what love is or would lead to love. It's just interest, lust, and desires and needs, you know. People and things become important to you depending on your need and desire for them. So if you think because you need someone, because it provides certain kind of feeling in you, or you desire someone and they're important to you, and that makes that person important to you, that's not love. That person is important to you because you have a need for something you receive from them, or you desire them for some reason, whether what they have, how you will have an image of yourself when you're with them, or is it lust? All of that is what makes that person important, but that is not the same as you being in love with that person. That person has become important to you because of your need for them or desire for them. But that's not what love is. So when you actually bond on consciousness level and understand each other, and it's not, that person becomes important to you not because of your need or desire for them, then you might be on the track, on the path to fall in love or love each other. I hope that's something for you to maybe use or understand, help you understand better. And that's why love seems to be an illusion, but it's not. It's there. But it has lots of ups and downs. Doesn't mean every time that in a relationship you're down, then the love is gone and cannot be, you know, attained. Or if you're really, everything is happy and good, oh, that's love. It has to be a package of understanding, bonding, compatibility, harmony, tolerance, everything else. Then you can begin to see there is a love being created. There's a lot more to love than that. And I guess we can talk about it some other time, because I can go on for 2 hours on that subject of love. Nilam says, hi Mehran, 29-year-old female from UK. Hello, Nilam. Thank you for making these videos. You're a true blessing. Oh, I'm delighted to hear that, dear. Don't forget us. Don't forget to promote the channel and share the videos you like. We need every one of you who like these videos and my program to help us to grow. Remember, guys, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I just want to be reasonable. As you can see, I'm making lots of efforts to help people. For the past 6 years, is it? 5, 6 years, pretty much I've done about 1,300 videos, lots of live talks, and so many thousands of emails responded, all complimentary. Didn't expect anything. And the ones who could afford it always made an appointment with me on Skype, and we have explored what was concerning them. But what I do ask you guys is to please share the videos you like, click on like on the videos that you watch, make comments, and talk about it here and there, and let us to be known more. Nilam, so you're not off the hook. Carrie says, do you have financial advice for me? I'm 52 and have no 401k or much savings. Worried about my retirement. Yes, I'm same. Carrie, who found you on Facebook. Ah, good. Carrie, I'm here in Canada. I don't know what 401k is. I hear a lot about it. It perhaps is some kind of a retirement plan. I don't know. As a Canadian, I don't understand that. We have a, you know, although we each have to make investments here and take care of our retirements, but we are all somehow have a guaranteed a little bit of a money after age 60. We can take it at 60 or 65 or 70. The later we take it, the more money it will be. Like if I start taking pension when I'm 60 or when I'm 65, when I'm 60 it will be less than if I choose to exercise it at 65. If I exercise at 65 is less than if I would choose to wait until I'm 70 and then ask for it. So that's how it is here. We have a pension automatically, and I don't know how it is over there. And we also have all kind of other instruments here, but I don't know what 401 really stands for there, how its mechanism is. But as far as you being, you're 52 years old, you're young, and you still can work. It's not too late to start putting something aside. I usually think that you gotta have, like, you know, if you can't have the discipline of keeping your money for what it needs to be spent and keep it separately, it would be good to have 3-4 different accounts, and the money that you make from your, you know, employment, wherever you work. One account is for utilities and expenses of the household, of your apartment, electrical bills, water, whatever it is. The other one is your fund money, that when it runs out in that account, no more you can touch any other account's money, because that's what was your ration for that month. And the other account is your savings. So you have a certain amount of money put every month in that particular account as savings, and it can't be touched. And the other one is your fund money, and you know, and the other one is your expenses for, you know, food, and maybe your food could be in the fund money too, but the other one is your utilities, you know, all the expenses for your gas money, for your car payments, for your house payments, or rents, or electrical bills and whatever. So these budgets are clear to you, and you have separated the percentage of your checking. When you cash it, you deposit in different accounts, and each account tells you exactly how much is in it, how much you've spent, and you'll be clear where to stop, what not. Otherwise, you will be spending, let's say, your food money on, I don't know, shoes maybe, and then you'll wonder, where did the money go? But in this way, you have clear understanding of, this is money for food, shoes, clothing, this is money for his household stuff, car payments, this and that, this money is for my savings, da 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 da, and won't touch it. So your travel expense and everything else comes from your, one account with your food and shopping or whatever it is that you do. The other one is household stuff. The other one is saving stuff. At least that would begin a certain kind of saving. Then I guess you got to talk to some financial planners there who won't scam you, and some reputable bank or something, and figure out what mechanisms, instruments you have there for retirement, and that you can sustain it. Don't just go and get some kind of insurance that you can't pay all the time, and eventually it poofs out because you can't pay and they'll take the money. Unfortunately, I can't be that more helpful because I'm not a financial advisor, and therefore I don't want to mislead you. Carrie says, first time joining in on YouTube discussion. I like it. I'll try to join in when I can. Otherwise, I watch later. Okay, yeah, that's good, because I can always upload them, and I always do. Frank says, I mean, we love each other a lot, but for almost 1 year, the relationship wasn't going very well anymore. I tried different businesses, and I was concentrated on building a business. I guess I should go back to the first part of your question. I never had oh, there is one I missed, I guess, is Mr. Mehran. Although I never had difficulties approaching women and experiencing quite many of them, I've just had 1 month ago out of a 3 I've just got 1 month ago out of a 3.5 year relationship with a 24-year-old girl, and I feel like shit. Okay. Let's see, how old were you? I forgot. 29, and she's 24. Okay. Well, 24-year-old girl may not be ready for a serious relationship. She's still trying, and she still have been sold that idea of that there is some rich guy out there waiting for you, so you don't have to work at all in your life. Most young girls are looking for that kind of a opportunity. They're not focusing on building something out of themselves, being accomplished, independent, so they will choose a guy based on the quality of the guy, not based on their need for what the guy can provide. And usually when the girls are, that age, 22, 23, 24, possibly 25, they still haven't figured it out. What is really important in finding a quality relationship, and what is going to bring that kind of a life that they have envisioned for themselves. Instead, they're looking for that kind of life that they've envisioned for themselves in an easy way settings, which means how beautiful they are, and there will be somebody that is going to be in love with their physical attributes, and they're not focusing on what keeps the relationship is the mental compatibility. So you are no different than anybody else. Age 29, you know what you want. You're ready for a relationship. 24-year-old still thinks she can do better than you. It doesn't matter who you are. She's always thinking she can be better than, she can do better than you. If she's a looker, she's got some looks and all that. That's what she's consumed with, unless she's really intelligent and she knows about all the other things that are important in life and in the making of her. So don't feel like shit. It's not your fault. She's at that age that she still doesn't know what she really wants to build or what's important in her life. She's looking for lottery ticket. Not all women are like that, but most young girls have been fed this idea that you should try to capitalize on your looks and see what you can get, and if where you are is not really seems like getting you all this stuff that you wanted, then jump ship, go to another one, break up, go to another guy, because there are always guys lining up. Unfortunately, they don't understand that they're lining up for a certain thing. They're not lining up to provide for them, take care of them, love them, and be true to them and all that. Not all of them. They're lining up because that's what men do. Men are programmed for procreation. As soon as they see a female, they're lining up because it's a female. That's enough for them to think it's something they should pursue. But the girls think this lining up means they're so much in demand. No, every girl is in demand if that's the case. You're no different than the others unless you make yourself different. By the way you think, by the way you educate yourself, become independent, provide for yourself, then you're not running around waiting and to see how many line up so you can, be satisfied that you're pretty enough that they're willing to dedicate themselves to you because of that. You bank on your intelligence, you bank on your ability to build something in life, and that is when you will choose a right guy, because you become serious by yourself before you can be serious about your relationship. And most young girls at that age haven't found that stage yet. They're still, in the same stage that you were in age 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. You were still not sure what you wanted until eventually you matured. And a 24-year-old, in most cases, especially in North America, they're not serious enough. They're not mature enough. They're still bamboozled and dazzled by all the possibilities that could be available to them, which is all, in a way, I believe, is an abusive to a woman. All this whole idea of making them feel that they're only physical body, selling them the idea that they're nothing more than their beauty, it is a betrayal of respect to women and to allow them to become powerful and stronger and to believe in themselves more and expect, demand more in the ingredients and the quality of the man that they hope to have a relationship with. All right, so don't feel like shit. Now let's go back to the other part of your question. It says, I mean, we loved each other a lot, but for almost 1 year the relationship wasn't going well anymore. I tried different businesses and I was concentrated on building businesses. And in that time, she felt sometimes unloved and that I didn't offer her enough attention. There we go, attention. 6 months ago, her father passed away, and since then, she's a different person. All right. She decided to stop the relationship, and I am still sabotaging myself that I wasn't enough for her. Although I know I treated her as best as I could, and in the past she loved me very much and appreciated. Well, in the past she was very young, she didn't know any better. Now she's 24 years old and she feels a little bit more confident, and she's looking to fulfill what she expects rather than what both of you should expect or could expect in a relationship. And that whole idea of being with a woman who needs attention all the time to feel good about herself and feel worthy or appreciated, well, that's the wrong choice, because if a woman is just there for attention, there'll be never-ending story. She should have the same reason to be in a relationship as you do. The reason for a relationship between two people should be the same. She can't be there for attention and you be there because you love her body. She can't be for attention and you be there because you just feel the need to be in a relationship. You guys have to have a destination. What you guys want to build. Why are you in a relationship? Is it compatible? Is your reasoning to want to be in a relationship similar? Are your destinations, a purpose of being in a relationship, the same? Are you guys working on accomplishing yourself, or one of you is out working, the other one is sitting around waiting, and then she feels neglected? Or is she busy with her work and you are not that busy, and therefore you hang around with your friends and drink and all that, and then that is how it's gonna go, and then she will feel that you don't get enough, you will feel you're not being paid enough attention by her, or she will feel that you're not being committed enough. So all of that has to do with if you guys both see it eye to eye, and your reasoning for being in a relationship, your purpose of want to be in a relationship is the same or not. And for that, you both need certain experiences before you get together, certain maturity, certain understanding of where you want to go, where you are, what you want to accomplish, have you accomplished enough, or what are you there for? What do you want from that relationship? So perhaps that was the differences that you two have. And of course, you can't say just because somebody's father or mother passes away, then she suddenly got to go nuts, or he got to go nuts and not, you know, continue the relationship and suddenly sever it. But it's a natural thing that in life, sometimes there's ups and downs. You may be paying a little bit more attention to your job. If a man or woman get together and they expect each other's attention to constantly be on the other one, it's a false hope. It's unreasonable expectation. The man should go to work, the woman should go to work if that is what they choose. And that work takes certain time of attention and focus, and takes away from the attention that you guys can give to each other. So you got to compartmentalize it and be able to allocate enough time, at least some time, to tell each other that, listen, I love you. The fact that we are not doing much things together these days because I'm busy at work and we need that money, we need that whatever it is, the promotion or whatever it is. Both of you can be in the same position. Man or woman, they both have careers and they both have to be worried about what they can accomplish there, but discuss it and affirm that the fact that you're aware that you guys are not spending enough time with each other, and allocate sometimes, if you can, in order to remind yourselves that you are working for a reason, to bring a better life for each other. It's not that you're working because you want to forget about each other. So these little notions and little things that you possibly can, if you can afford it, to have a little bit of a R&R together, go somewhere, do something, or, you know, on weekly basis, maybe, I don't know, play tennis together, or go for tea, go for a walk, and you know, have some games together that, you know, you can enjoy, like when you were kids, you know, yet simple things in life, you know, sporting activities, fitness together, enough things that you would be doing it individually, do it together. So that would kind of strengthen your relationship and show to each other that you're paying attention, even though you're busy at work. Otherwise, you may feel neglected to the point, and if you're not mature enough, you will feel that is on purpose, and the other person is actually not wanting to pay attention to you, and then that kind of affects your level and quality of relationship. So, and he says, although I know I treated her the best I could, and in the past she loved me very much and appreciated. All right, let's see the rest of it. All right. Okay, so I think we discussed that as much as we could. And let's go to another question. All right, can't find it. Oh my goodness. All right, so Mr. Frank says, I mean, we loved each other. Oh, we did that, sorry. Stefan, hey Mehran, looking good. Okay, hello Stefan. I did respond to your email just before I came on live, so I think that you received it. I think you did, because you said thank you. Okay, good. Lidinis says, hi, 29, lesbian female from the US. Hello, Lidi. I call you Lidi. That's easier to say than Lidinis 07. I don't know if that's your name or not, but anyhow, Lidi sounds like a name to me. All right, let's see if Lidi has a question. Let me look through here, or was it just a hello? Yeah, it looks like Lidi doesn't have a question. It was just a hello. All right, then we go back. All right, thank you, Lidi, for your question, and thanks for being here. Victor says, after several conversations with you here, I wrote following lines. Okay, let's find the lines. Victor says, I'm stronger than ever. I'm back to my dream. There is no one by my side, only forces within and around. Let's see if I can find the rest. So that was it. Okay, all right, I'm glad that you feel good and the videos and live talks have been helpful to you, and I appreciate your warm comment. Okay, I'm delighted to see that you're stronger than ever and you're back on your dream, and that you are fine without having anybody necessarily in a relationship with you, and your forces within are helping you. Good. Now, oh, there it is. Lidi has a question here, because there was, okay, there it is. I lost it again. This is so challenging. So, oh, there it is. Lidi says, 29, female, lesbian from US, was with my ex for 6.5 years. Oh, that's a long relationship. And having a very difficult time with the breakup. Of course you would, because through that 6.5 years, you two had shared and created certain set mechanical processes, the things you were doing, how you would get up, what you would do, go to your works, text, or go to some outing after works, or some sporting activities, or some function, and the places that you belong to, groups that you were associating with, activities that you had. All of that mechanical processes had created a certain order in your lives, and that order had replaced the order that each one of you individually had before you got together. When you guys were single, not together, each had a certain thing, certain mechanical process, certain things that you would do and attend to on your day, and that had created an order for yourself, and you were having that norm of your life. When you got together, your order, your way of doing things was interfering with hers, and her way of doing things, her order, was disturbing your order, and eventually you guys came to certain kind of a compromise, and through new mechanical processes sharing, you created a new order, and that new order became the only order that your life was being organized upon. And through that order, your minds both found security. And that security is not there because the order is broken up. You're not necessarily, of course you're missing her and all that, but you're not necessarily just hanging on uncomfortably because she's not in your life. Is because the order is broken and your mind is lost its security, which was coming through that order. Mind finds security through order. And order is created through mechanical process. When she is no longer in your life, the mechanical process is broken up. The order is not set. And in order for you to make that same order happen, you need her, because it was stuff that you guys were doing together. It will take a bit of a time before you actually create a new order again, as it was before you guys got together. Remember, you were happy before, you had an order before, and it took a while till you guys got used to this. Now it's going to take a while till you again get used to when you were single. And that order, when it's established, the new order will give you security to your mind, and you will be set and ready and comfortable to live your life in a single way until you find another qualified candidate. So it's not necessarily her that you miss, it's the order of your life that you miss. It's the security in your mind that you miss, which was coming through the order, and that order was put together because she was there. So it's going to take a bit of a challenge until you get used to the new order. Let's see if I have. All right. Sid, hello Sid, male 30, Estonia, hope you're well. You're such a blessing to humanity. Thank you, Sid. Thank you for the kind words, I appreciate it. Now guys, at one time we were 31 people here just 5 minutes ago, and now we're 24. Must have been something I said. Anyhow, I expect to see at least 25, 26 likes here. So if you haven't, take a moment, click on like, for heaven's sake, and get that over with. If you've been here more than 5 minutes, that means you like it. So like the darn thing. Now, let me see. Chris says, hi Mehran, male 46 UK. Hello, Chris. Excalibur says, oh yeah. Asso must be here. Asso says, hey Mehran. Hey people. Hello, Asso. How have you been? You've been absent for... as Excalibur says, for ages. Hope all is well with you. Now, let me go where we were. Now, Rachel Isaac says, I've been single for 3 years. Now just can't find a serious person to settle. I give up. No hope. I would just have to do things to be happy and not let that dampen my spirit. Yes, because when you say I give up, you think it's up to you when you start, when you intend, and then there will be an array of candidates showing up, and when you stop, there will be no candidates showing up. No, the candidates are there, and it's not up to you. It's the way of the river. It hasn't, the river that is passing you by hasn't included a quality of what you're looking for. But the river is continuing, the water is flowing, and there's stuff in the water that is about to come. So you will eventually have no choice. You will meet someone of your liking. But when, who knows? Depends on, how in tune you are, I guess, or how active you are in different things. And a coincidence will happen. Eventually you'll meet. You know how many times people want to meet someone and they can't, and then they are not thinking about it, and accidentally they meet someone. So it's really not necessarily up to you to think that, oh, then it damps then I should give up, or it will not happen. No, it's not. It has its own flow, and it's going to happen when it happens. So relax. In the meantime, enjoy life. Do the stuff that you love to do. Live your life. Life is far bigger than a relationship. Don't wait for a relationship to define life for you. Life is life, and relationship is part of that life. So take your journey, continue your journey, enjoy the things on your way, on your path, sports activities you like, things you like to research, things you like to write or read and learn, places you want to go, activities you want to keep doing, whatever it is that you are doing in order to build something that you want to build and experience this journey of life. And on its path, eventually at the right time, you will also meet the candidates who would be suitable enough for you to pursue and see if they are truly qualified to build a relationship with. So, hope is not something for you to give up, to have or not have. It's always there, because hope is not within you. Hope is out there. You can't help it. It's there. You cannot say, I don't have hope. It's not you to have. It's there, exists abundantly every day. So you can't get rid of it even if you wanted to, because it's not limited to you to create hope. People say, oh, how can I have hope? You can't have hope, because hope is everywhere. It's not up to you to have it. Everybody has it. It's like the air you breathe. It's like, say, I hope I can't have air. Well, it's there. You're breathing it, and you have no control of it. It's abundant. You don't have to worry about that. Hope is the same. It's not something that you should worry about. It's there. You just have to flow through your life, because every step of it, hope is alongside. It's part of the makeup, the fabric of this path that you're on in this journey of life. You're walking through hope. Every step, there is hope. It's not like you carry it, you got to get it, you got to acquire it. It's there for free. You know? So, I hope that will resonate with you. Let's see. El Haj says, hello, sir. I'm 23 from Minnesota. I have 3 semesters left in my nursing school. I was to join the National Guard because I want to become more disciplined and I love fitness. What type of discipline do they teach in the Army or National Guard? Well, usually a typical day in the Army, depending on what schedules you are that designed, your unit has designed for you as part of your learning process, but for a while you will be trained in getting up at a certain time. The bugle will go and you're up, and you got to fix your bed tightly, nicely. Organization and discipline starts right from there. To wake up a certain hour right away, and then fix your bed to the point that if you drop a coin on it, it will bounce back. That's how tight it should be. It shows pride, precision, and readiness to do your best in whatever it is. To do your best starts from making your bed. Then you go do wash up and everything else. You get ready to go at a certain hour with everybody else in line. Then you go for a certain kind of, calisthenic. You do some exercises. And that's what usually goes. And when you do that, then you go for a certain kind of a march and activities. Maybe you clean up leaves on the grounds, but these are all exercises. Then you'll be taught, maybe depending on the day and the schedule, some weaponries and understanding how to open and close a rifle and all that, so forth. Then you'll be taught, depending on your rank and what they're trying to teach you, you will be going through some drills and talk about strategies and things like that. And so your whole day, then you'll have lunch with the other ones, and then you'll again have a little bit of a rest, and you'll have some classes and light classes, mostly physical stuff, and then you will do more work with different apparatus that they want you to know. And of course, this is one short day. There are lots of other things that they could put in it, but I don't know what rank you going in, what stage you were in. I don't know what National Guard. My military experience was different. I was in the infantry division, and I had my program for becoming a lieutenant in the infantry division. And that was a different time, different country, different training. So we were trained as, well, we were supposed to be trained. So lots of different weaponries and lots of different stuff. And it's all a good experience, very good experience. Very disciplined, very strong, feeling good, confident. No, it's a good experience. Go for it. You know, it's up to you. You decide. I'm not deciding for you. I'm just saying it was good for me. I enjoyed it. And you find your best friends there. My friends since, I was 22 years old when I went to Army for the duration of that training. And I'm now 63. So 41 years later, I still have my best friends from the Army time. It's amazing. So let's come back to now. And Carpe Diem says, how can one get over old marriage despite the fact I still love her and care for her so much I feel lonely? I'm not quite clear. Old marriage, are you still married, or you're divorced and you think of her, or you're married and you love her? But I'm not sure, Carpe Diem. Could you help me out a little bit? I go to another question. I'll come back to you if you could kindly. Let me read it again. How can one get over old marriage? Like, you know, the memories you have from the old, when you were married, but you got divorced. Despite the fact that I love her and care for her so much, I feel lonely. You're married and you feel lonely. You guys are not active together much, like, you know, much schedules for mutual interests stuff. Is that what you're saying? Or I'm kind of lost a little bit. Carpe Diem, help me out here. I go to Adam. Adam says, Mehran, back to my question in regards to helping others. I'm offended that you think I help those who have disabilities to try to gain something. Don't be offended. If you're offended, you can't learn. First thing, you gotta be open to learning, because if you know me well enough, you know that I don't intend to offend anybody. But your ego is offended because you want me to think of you in a different light. I didn't think of you in any bad light. In fact, I tried to tell you, stop being so helpful when you need to also be helpful to yourself. But don't be offended. Think it through. It might be true. And that's not a bad thing. It's about the psyche. It's about what all of us could do. And we do. You're no different than any other wonderful person in this world. And every wonderful person, at one angle, may be doing things to get brownie points from that deity that he or she has created in his own mind to want to shine in their eyes. And that could be a motivation. Just like you would do good things to make your mom proud of you or your dad proud of you, or you would want them to see how good you are, and that's one of the motivations you had to do certain things. Otherwise, you may not have done much of it. But the fact that they were looking at you and you wanted to score points in the eyes of your mom and dad, you would do it. The same thing, you've created that kind of eyes judging you in your own mind, by your own mind, whether it's a deity or your own higher self. So this is not something that for you to be offended, because that means you're, again, looking for being recognized as a flawless person. No, we all have these sort of things because we all want to be, affirmed and approved of, and sometimes we create an entity in our own mind to affirm us. Our own mind, our own thoughts, affirm our own thoughts and our own self. It's quite interesting to focus on it. So don't be offended. There's nothing here intended to offend you. And I think help, you know, those, and first of all, I didn't know you were helping disabilities. You said you help people, so helping people could mean anything. There was no word of helping disabilities. But anyhow, I stand by what I said. There was nothing there to be offended by. Adam, I do it because I do this for my heart, not to score. Yes, okay. Says Mehran, I wish I could listen to your advice more often, but I do not get the notification. Oh, that's Carpe Diem. Let's talk about what we were talking with Adam. So I do it because I do it from my heart, not to score. Well, listen, it's not anything bad if you focus on what I'm saying. You can be the judge of it. Often we do things because in our own mind we believe someone is watching us or someone is aware of what we are doing, and we want that someone or something or a thought to give us that attention and good judgment, that I'm a good person. We're all striving to constantly, to some unseen energy or power, to look like that we are a good person. And we want to be considered as a good person because we are a good person. And we want that attention, that recognition. And that recognition is not from some human beings, it's from either our own fictitious creation of higher self or some deity that we believe in, whatever it is. So don't be offended, Adam, and don't try to defend yourself. That whole defending yourself is also, the fact that you say you're offended is also an expectation of recognition that I am better. See me as something so wonderful. Go deep into what I'm saying. The whole purpose of this here is not to fluff your egos, guys. It's sometimes to be brutal, so for you to see you, not to be fooled by you. Your own thoughts can fool you. I want you to be clear and be a mechanic of your machine, to know exactly the different sounds this engine makes and to know the hum and who's of it, that what it means, and not to be fooled by that. To be clear. If you cannot be clear on your own machine, you cannot be clear with the others either. Or at least to be able to see everything as they actually are, and it will just be under certain kind of an illusion. If you try to fool yourself, guess what else are you doing in life? To be fair to yourself, truthful to yourself, you gotta know about yourself. And this is part of what humans do. It's not about to offend you, and you shouldn't be offended at all. Adam says, score points. Okay. What I'm saying is that naturally, through the energy I'm giving, that it returns in some way. See? Don't tell me you're different than human beings. We're all human beings. Read your own words. I'm not antagonizing you. I'm just helping you to be so clear. And there's nothing wrong with what you're saying, but I want you to know what you're saying. Through the energy I'm giving, you say, that it returns in some way. Returns from what? From that organization that you believe in, that energy that you believe in, that deity, that whatever it is that you expect it to be looking after you, judging you, seeing what you're doing, to give you through the energy in some way back. That is expectation of recognition. So it is normal. We all do. And that's okay. Which is a connection with the universe, and therefore you do good because you're a good person, and at the same time you do good and you hope that this good energy that you're extending would be recognized and result in reciprocation of the universal energy, in some ways benefiting you back. So that is what I'm talking about in a different way. So there's nothing wrong with it, but be aware of it. That's what it is. So stop doing too much of it, because not you, but one may think, because I don't know if it's you or not, one may think that the more I do it, therefore the more I have a chance to get back it. That's what I'm saying. You should be aware of it. So do it enough that you can afford it. Do it enough that in energy, in money, and in time you can afford it, but not do it more than you should just because you think it's a good idea to do more, because then I would have more chance to get something good happen to me. That should not be the only motivation. Let's put it that way. All right. Alex says, hello, man 23 from Berlin. Oh, guten Tag. Wie geht's heute? Sometimes I just envy my ex, he says, that she has better life without me. So many other people may have different life than you, that you may consider it better than yours. So what do you care? You don't care because you don't know them, because they were not yours, or you were not in a relationship with them at some point. But this one that you were in a relationship with, because you somehow physically received pleasure and mentally received recognition or connection or pleasure, now you feel it was mine, it's not there, it's not mine. That's why you think it's important if she's doing better than you. If you didn't know her, which there's so many other women more beautiful than your ex, they're doing better than you maybe, but you don't care. Why? Because you had no connection with them. So understand that you should have no connection with this one either, because when she divorced you or broke up with you, that means no longer she was qualified. No longer she was the person, the same person as you were with her, as when you guys were good together. And because she's no longer the same kind of person as when you guys were good together, then she's no longer qualified to be with you. Because if she was like this before, when you guys just met, if she was like this as she is now, when you guys just met a while back, you would not consider her as qualified woman to be with you. Now that after you guys were together, she has changed, and therefore she broke up with you, therefore that means she's no longer the same kind of girl that she used to be when you guys were together. So which means, again, she should not be qualified anymore. Whether she is the way she is now, or she was this way when you guys met, you would not qualify. She would not be qualified to be with you. You would not qualify her, because this is not the girl that you want. You want a girl that she's not changed and she wants to stay with you. So if she doesn't want to stay with you and she's changed to the point that she's broken up with you, that means she's not the same girl anymore. That means she doesn't qualify. You would not have qualified her to want to pursue a relationship with her. So in that case, think of her the same way. Because she's broken up and she's changed, she's no longer qualified. Therefore, you shouldn't care how she does, how good she does, better than you or worse than you. She would be just like the other women out there that you don't know, and you may consider that they're doing better in life than you are. But you don't care, because you don't find them, you don't know them, and you don't find them qualified to want to be in a relationship with you. The same thing you should think about this one, because this one also, because she broke up and she's changed, she's not the same kind of girl that she used to be, she's no longer qualified for you. You should not find her qualified. And that makes it to be for you. You shouldn't care if she's doing better. So what? Wish her well. Wish everybody well. And wish yourself well as well. And he says, she has a lot of new friends now, goes on parties, holidays, etc. Total opposite to who we were before. Have just 2 friends. There we go. I just have 2 friends. Well, okay. That's exactly what I mentioned. You should disqualify her then you wouldn't care if she's doing this or not, how many friends she has. Who cares? These are all aesthetics. You focus on building your life. Don't worry about who's having a better life or more fun or ha-ha parties. That's not life. That's pleasure. And pleasure, you can't build anything on pleasure. No matter how much parties she goes and how many friends she has, she can't build a life on that. So you focus on building your life. Take care of your job, be good at what it is, research more, be better at your job, have satisfaction with producing, accomplishing, attaining different levels, and continue your life, do things you like to do, be busy and active with making a positive change and positive difference into your community, into your own life. Engage yourself with intellectual things, things that makes you feel good about yourself, bring more confidence and knowledge to you. And on this process, while you're enjoying life, living, you will meet someone, and that someone would be, again, possibly qualified for you to pay attention and pursue a relationship with. Regardless of what she does or what other people do, you got to focus on your life. Build your own life. Live your own life. And then you will be free and you wouldn't care how other people are living, having fun, better or worse. All right? All right. Carrie says, ooh, I would love to go to your seminar. Well, I would love to give the seminar, but, you know, we're way away from it. You know, we need 1 million subscribers. And then we have enough advertisements on the programs, and we'll have enough finances for me to get on the road and then meet different countries and put up different meetings and help people and reach people, and then we'll all have some fun in learning and sharing more stuff. I hope that will happen, but that will only happen if from now 25 people, I should see at least 25 likes on this. Step by step we will eventually get drop by drop, an ocean is created. Drop by drop becomes suddenly becomes an ocean. Aso says, Mehran, I lost hope in relationships, marriage. I don't believe in none of these shit anymore. And I think I want to live alone with a kittens, dogs, a lot of plants, and maybe adopt a kid or something. Life is like the ocean, the waves of the oceans, ups and downs. When it's up, you can't say, oh, wonderful, everything is so high up, I can see everything. Everything is clear, my visibility is infinite, and all is under control. And when it's down, to feel like, oh, that's how it's going to be forever, and then I have no more hopes. No, neither that nor that. It's a balance. It's up and down, up and down. Up and down means life. Look at your heartbeat. If it's that's when you're dead. If it's up and down, I don't know if that's the sound of a heart, but anyhow, that ups and down, up and down is necessary for life to be moving, progressing, and you be alive. Movement is life. So when you're in the ocean and there are waves up and down, that's signifying there is life in the ocean, movement, fresh things are exchanging, changing, moving, freshness will come about it. You go and stand in front of the ocean, you bend down and scoop a bit of the water in your hands, you bring it up, you look at it, you say, it's my water. In your eyes, it's your water, but in the eyes of the great ocean, it's part of the great ocean's water. But you keep it in your hand long enough, it will go stale because there's no exchange, interchange. It's just no movement, no life in it. Everything dies in it. Life comes from movement. That's why everything, every moment is resonating. All atoms are resonating. What doesn't resonate is not alive. So this water that stayed in your hand long enough stale and became stinky and is spoiled now. You want it to have conflux, you want it to be fresh, you gotta let it have conflux. You gotta put it back in the ocean. Let it have conflux. Movement up and down. Then it creates freshness, sustenance, and it doesn't stink anymore. It becomes live again. Right? If you understand that, then when your life seems to be hopeless in your mind, it's a down part, which is setting you up for vigorous appreciation of when it goes a bit high. And you get that inertia and catapult yourself to higher. And then again, things may happen, experiences happen, you may fall down a bit. That's part of being alive. If you can't notice up and down, that means you're dead. So if there's no up and down in your life, that means nothing is exciting, nothing is moving, you're learning nothing, you're not developing anything, you're not modifying anything, you don't need to understand or change or better anything or advance anything. You will just be status quo. No change, no advancement, no learning, no experience, no lessons. So, for you, yes, it's wonderful to live with animals often. It's better to live with animals than people. But thinking that that means you should give up hope? Oh, it's like saying, I want to give up on breathing. Well, it's not your choice. It's going to happen. Air is there and your mechanism is going to breathe. And hope is the same. You can't give up on hope. Hope is out there. You give up today, but tomorrow something good happens. Oh, so I'm hopeful. So what happened? It's not up to you. Hope is out there. Hope is part of life. You're swimming, living, walking, moving in hope. So just because something doesn't seem exactly as you expected it, doesn't mean you should suddenly give up on the whole entire experience of life, which is the most precious and valuable treasure you've been given and blessed with. Enjoy it and make the best out of it. That's the key. Don't give up. Just make the best out of it. Maybe for a while you enjoy, living with dogs and cats. Okay, nothing wrong with it. Or plants, wonderful. They're, made of the same energy we are. But then giving hope up because things are not going your way, and you're what, 23 years old? Very impatient. So stick around. Things will turn around. You'll be fine. Now, Ross says, hey Mehran, 30, male UK. That's very good code. She is written 30 MUK, 30 muck. That means 30 male UK. That's pretty good. Ross says, I recently started seeing a girl. I believe last time I told you next time you talk to me, I think that's you, right? Is it? I said, next time you talk to me, you better tell me you went out with the girl. And I hope that's you, because that question that I was answering, the name was Ross as well, right? So Ross says, I recently started seeing a girl who lives an hour and a half away. Ooh, okay. We see each other about twice a week. Okay. Is this enough? Of course. The driving is quite tiring, but don't know whether to continue before it gets more serious. Why not? It's an hour and a half, for God's sake, so what? Get off your ass and get in the car and go and see her. And sometimes, when it gets a little bit more serious, maybe she comes and lives with you for a weekend. You guys stay a weekend together. And then you won't get too tired from each other, then you move on with your lives during the week, and you go see each other. Eventually, you may decide to move in together, or you may decide to sever the relationship. Whatever it is, you can't decide for that what's going to be the ending of it now because you think that's how it's going to be ending. If that's the case, why do you play chess? You sit in front of it and you play a few games, say, okay, I know I'm not that good, this guy's got a better ranking, I'm going to lose. So why do you play? You can imagine the outcome. So why do you play? Because you always know there are other possibilities in chess that you didn't think of. So you continue the best moves that you can. and you go on. Not even you learn to play chess better in the process. Also, things, surprising moves and possibilities come about that you never thought you would. Why? Because when you start a chess game, things are looking a certain way, and every moment of this game, things look a certain way, but the next move changes the whole possibilities. Whole new array of possibilities appear. So you can't say that from this position, I can see where the game is going to end, because the next position may actually change the whole understanding of you had of the game, where it's going in the movement before. So don't play like you're a magician and you know the future. Do your best with what you got. You got a girl and she likes you and you like her. She's an hour and a half away. Well, get you off your ass. What are you going to do? Sit play what? Video game, or watch a movie, or research in the library, or there's something that you are doing if you're not doing this, but this is also having a place in your life. So everything has its own place. Right now, that's the way it is, an hour and a half. Who knows? Maybe it won't be always an hour and a half. Maybe she'll get a job where you are. You get a job where she is. Maybe things change. You know, you can't tell just because of the way things look. You think that's how it's going to always be. So what if you give it up and then later on you will say, oh, I wish I didn't give it up because look, we are now so close, living side by side, or close to your neighbors or whatever. Things can always change. So why would you want to expedite something that is not pleasant? If it happens, comes to that, then you will decide then. In the meantime, if you guys are having fun, and you're having fun, well, but there must be some, you know, train stations and stuff that you can not drive, just get on the train, you know. An hour and a half is not like a big deal nowadays. Anyhow, I think, I don't know, you make the decisions, you know, but you can't be so choosy, guys, that you want the love, you want the girl you want, and or you want the guy that you want, and it has to be this way, that way, and plus it has to be close to my home, convenient. Everybody's lazy ass. People used to travel across the world to find the girl that they want. I mean, the old days. Nowadays, you know, I'm not suggesting long distance relationship is good on internet. No, I don't like that. But what I'm saying is that be a man. It's okay. You know, invest some time and see what happens. But then again, it's a decision between you two. You guys don't think it's fun, then don't. Carpe Diem says, I wish your channel would grow. You have such incredible advice. I try my best to promote your channel. I thank you, Carpe Diem. That's music to my ear. I appreciate that. I sure need it. I still am baffled why we are not seen more, or how we should. I'm still baffled. Contents are great. Availability is there. Variety is there. People are happy and benefiting, life-changing effects. There are channels that pretty much, as you guys have told me, is nonsense, but they've got 500,000-600,000 or 800,000 subscribers. I don't have a clue how that could be real, or how could that happen, but it does. So we keep continuing doing our own thing until we actually become well known. Juan or June or Jean says, hello Mehran, my friend. Hello dear. Lots of greeting from Belgium. Oh, bonjour. Bonjour monsieur. Comment ça va aujourd'hui? And he says, I'm male 33. My ex broke up half a year ago because she was afraid I could not provide enough. Okay. That's sad. That's sad when the reason for breakup is that the girl says, oh, I don't know if you can provide enough. Well, why don't you go to provide? It's equal abilities. You can be educated, an expert, and if you love the guy and the guy is decent, and works, has a job, is not a lazy ass, but makes less money than you, so what? Often in the past and now, girls make less than the guy, so the guy should say, well, I'm afraid you can't provide for me, so I go now. Are you there for provision or for human relationships and compatibility and building something together? So if that was the only reason, better let it go. Because it has to be fair. It is important for both of you to have a job and help with the economics of the life. But you can't just say, oh, because the girl is not making as much money as I, or I'm not sure if she can provide for the family, then I'm going to leave her. Or the girl says, oh, I'm not sure if you can provide for me because I want to be a lazy ass and not contribute, but I want you to do it, and I don't think so, and I'm pretty, so therefore I go, and you, find somebody else. Well, why did you guys get together at all? So that means if that happens, well, hallelujah, that means you found out before it's too late, before you go further in, that this wasn't the right combination. You want a girl and a girl wants a guy that they both do their best. And it's not about money, it's about efforts. They can build something together. And if she's afraid that you're not going to provide, well, she can also start maybe compensating, making more money. And sometimes he could make more money, maybe, who knows, things change. But that should not be the reason for two people to give each other up, because we have been sold the bill that money is everything. So I don't care if you're really that compatible and perfect for me. If you can't make enough money, girl, then I should go away, instead of thinking, well, I will make more money for her. And she would also should think, well, if his business is down and he's not making enough money, well, so what? We will make it together, and I will have whatever I have. I will do my best, and I will bring whatever I can bring home, and then we try our best to make do. In the past, human history, and years ago, people didn't get divorced because there was not enough money. Money was not a reason. Money was something that they all understood could be or could not be. They worked on building something, relationship, togetherness, loyalty, trust, promises. We don't have that. It's all about things. So let me read the rest before I digress. And so Jean says, because she was afraid I could not provide enough. Now she initiates contact again. What should I do? Well, ask her. Point blank. Ask her, why do you want to be with me? I may or may not be able to make enough money for both of us, and that was the reason you left me once. What makes me to trust you that you're not here only because you feel you miss me, or you feel that I'm doing better, and one day again you come up with that thing, if my business is not good, you will say, I'm worried about if you don't provide enough. Yes, if you're a lazy ass guy and doesn't want to work and wants to just sit around and do nothing, and that's of course not acceptable. That's fine. If she wants to leave, she has the right to leave, and that's a legitimate concern. But if you're not a lazy ass, if you're doing your best and you're making good efforts, then there should not be something hanging over your head, and tell her that. Tell her everybody goes into a relationship, they expect, without mentioning it, they expect a certain kind of a security in that relationship. Comes from loyalty, promises, to be able to, the whole life is about pursuit of that elusive psychological security. And through relationship, people try to bring a certain amount of that security in their lives. And if I'm supposed to be afraid that when I don't have money, you're going to leave me, what the hell are you here for? I don't want to feed myself an illusion of being in a relationship that every moment can go depending on the outside forces. Are we together or are we not together? You have all the choices out there. Go try them. Don't come to me unless you think I am beyond the things, the stuff that the money can buy. Then we got a chance, and we both will do our best. Let's see if Sean has a follow-up. Yeah. It says, folks, we are here with 30. That was the time. But I see only 16 likes. Oh, really? Because I can't see the likes. That was bad. That was a while ago. What's wrong with, there we go. That's right. Give it to them. Sean? What's wrong with you, he says. The first thing you should do is like the video. Yes, there we go. That's my boy. All right, now let's go back and see. Bartos, okay, taking all the messages off. Kerry says, I did not manage my earnings over the years very well. Now kicking myself in the butt for it. Yeah, sure. Kicking yourself in the butt is fine, but don't sweat it. Now, start now. That's all you can do. You know, don't sweat what you have no control on it. That's what happened. So now see what you can do from now on. Astley says that is true. I don't know what is true. Okay. Thank you, Carpe Diem. Thank you, Carpe Diem. All right. And must obey the rules says, what do you think of men go their own way? We talked about that. Men go their own way, then go their own way. I don't really exactly care about that or understand that thoroughly, but at one time we discussed it. I don't remember what it is now, what I can say about it. Bartos says, hey, I have lost my love because of problems with aggression and being offensive to my partner. She was a fantastic person and I had hurt her a lot with my behavior and words. When I losing control, I behave like no at serious person. Not a serious person. I was mobbing her. What is mobbing her? Telling that I don't need her. Not respecting her. Thought that it would make her more attracted to me. No, I see. No. You cannot attract people by abusing them. That is your ego at work, trying to prove to you that you are in control, and by controlling, you might want to feel powerful. You think you will feel powerful by controlling. No. People may tolerate your behavior out of their manners and politeness, or thinking that you're just stupid, and they have a pity on you. But eventually, when that gets to a certain level that is inappropriate, they will simply drop you like a rock and kick you in the ass and give you what you're worth, and they go. They won't pay attention to you. You cannot think that people in any relationship, friends or boyfriend, girlfriend, or business relationship, that if you're being disrespectful, people would actually think that you're powerful or you're in control. No, they see right through it. Nobody's stupid. They see you abusive and narcissistic, inferior entity who is insecure and doesn't have enough confidence to be able to be polite and respectful and gain people's trust and respect through proper behavior, and is trying to force people to respect that person because of maybe a business that they're doing together, or maybe in a relationship, a need that they may have, or their ego is playing tricks on them. You should be wiser than that and know how the elements and fragments of your persona, of your center, is behaving, and to control it and tame it and make it proper and balanced before others see you as an egoistic nonsense. Nobody buys into that anymore. It's not like 1,000 years ago people would put up with anything just to get some, I don't know, food or something. People don't give a shit. Even then, they were not putting up with it when it would be inappropriate. So just as you feel a certain need to be recognized and respected, so do other people. What makes you think that your need for that kind of a confidence or respect or attention would be having priority toward other people's need for it to be respected and expectation of being respected? So if you haven't been behaving well, obviously she's not going to stick around. And he says, because of money and selfishness, I made her feeling bad with me. Yeah, she wanted to have a normal life, what I was not able to give her. I made her feel uncomfortable with me. I lost her because of my fault, my mistakes. How can I forgive myself now and start living new life? Whenever I talk with any new girl, I feel kind of guilty for what happened in the past. You should feel guilty. You were an asshole. Simple. Having recognized that you have made a mistake, having recognized that you were an asshole, narcissistic, bad behavior, and selfish and insecure, afraid. You were being like that because you were afraid, because you knew she's better than you. And you were trying to force it to make it look like that you're better, because you wanted to feel that you're in control, because you didn't feel adequate in some ways, and you thought by money or putting her down you will feel bigger. These were your shortcomings. If you have noticed them thoroughly and you can remember these are your flaws, then you may approach and present yourself in a different light to another girl. But this time, learn from your mistakes. You can forgive yourself when you actually, through time, see that you're behaving well and you're not giving into the old habit. That's when you can forgive yourself. You can't just fucking forgive yourself right now because you just want to feel good about yourself. No. You were fucked up. You abused someone in that way, which you know. The only way to redeem yourself is to actually be normal, balanced, caring, unselfish, proper, appropriate, and treat your next girlfriend good. Not overly, just to, and then that's another problem. No, just normal, balanced, caring, unselfish, and don't expect more than you deserve. And through time, you will naturally be keeping at it, And then one day you will realize that you have actually become a person automatically. You don't have to watch for yourself anymore. You will just constantly do the right thing and be behaving properly and not abusing your girlfriend in any shape or form. And then it dawns on you that I have forgiven myself through action, not just through some need for it, through action, through example, through behavior. I'm convinced that I can forgive myself because I have changed. I have evolved into a better version of myself using my mistakes as my lessons. That's the most fair way to suggest. Majid says, my ex is 23. I thought she found what's important in a relationship because she was studying neuroscience and now is applying for PhD, so thought she was mature in relationship just because of her education. No, you can't not ever think someone who has certain education is also mature. Oh, there's so many people with high education, they're bigger assholes than anybody else you've seen. It has nothing to education, and being a good person has nothing to do with each other in that level. It has to do with you knowing who you are, how you're put together, and be aware of your shortcomings and your strengths and the function of all the fragments of your center, knowing about your fears, your desires, pleasure, ego, thoughts, consciousness, the relationship between them all. And for that, of course, you have to go to my site, mind@seekstruth.com, and click on the books and take a look at the table of contents, read the sample chapter, and acquire the ebook, which is very inexpensive, price of a coffee and tea. Now that I plugged the books, we can go on to the next question. Men have been told that a woman dissolved female. All right. And oops. Okay. We've got 27 people. I better see 27 likes on this live stream. We've got lots of questions. I better hurry. Okay. I guess I'll be here for another 2 hours. Lots of questions. Let me have a sip of this. Oh my goodness, there's so many questions here. I don't know if I can answer them all. Let's see. Frank says, thanks for your help, mister. You're welcome, Frank. Adam says, very true. Okay. Stefan says, exit out of the live chat to like video. Oh, is that what it is? You have to exit the live chat before? No, you don't have to. You can like it while you're there, I think. Sid says, I also have a question, if I may ask. Of course. Says, as you already know, I broke up with my girlfriend. I feel a bit lonely at the moment, and I cannot socialize so much at the moment, as final semester of PhD starts next month, and the next 6 months are crucial for me. Can you advise something to me? Yes. First of all, I will say something here, but before that, if you go on my channel and just key in on the search engine of my channel, study or exams, you will have a bunch of them. This is breakup and exams, or just exam alone, or test, or study. All these keywords will bring number of discussions on exact thing that you're talking about, and I've elaborately discussed it there, much better than I will do here because there's not much time here. However, in the meantime here, it's very simple. Sit by yourself alone, have a cup of tea maybe, and think, what am I gaining if I keep badgering myself and keep focusing on her and what I miss and all the other things that really would help me nothing to build my life? Or is it better to focus on the one thing that I can rely on for my future and build my life on to bring about more opportunities for me, including a better girlfriend, more suitable girlfriend? And the idea, think about the idea that you can think of her and miss her and all that anytime, even after your exams are over. But if you sacrifice the preparation for the exam and the exam time during the next 6 months and just wallow in the sorrow and all thinking about her, you cannot get that opportunity of exams and study again. And that is when you become a loser. You're not a loser when you lose a girlfriend, when a girlfriend leaves or breakups happen. That is never true. Nobody's a loser when a breakup happens. I don't care what you think. A loser is when you make the wrong decision and when you guys trade gaining an advantage in life for something that will not give you anything other than just thinking and thinking and thinking about something that you already know it wasn't qualified to pursue any further. Your education and possibilities for gaining advancement through completing and fulfilling the requirements of that education is what can help you with the foundation of your future and the goal that you have in mind. But thinking and sorrowing and crying and missing and loneliness and all that shit that you're thinking is important has no importance in your life, especially a year from now. You won't even bloody think about it, but you have sacrificed a whole array of opportunities for thinking about it. And the fact is that you cannot bring those opportunities back. But the thinking of it and wallowing of it can always be there whenever you want to. So if I can have this thing anytime I want to, but this one is only a season for it, and if I miss it, I can never have it back, or will be hard, I have to wait for another year, which one are you going to choose? Obviously, pay attention to the one that has got time sensitivity. And this one, you can always go back and wallow and cry and sorrow and be sad about it. That's not an anomaly, and doesn't bring any benefit to you. Focus. As an educated person, think what should have priority. Something that is time sensitive, or something that I can always wallow and sorrow and be unhappy and cry about it. So bring solution to your loneliness by bringing a hopefulness and possibilities and plans that you want to have and preparing for that achievement. That preparation and efforts you make in preparing for exams and so on and being involved in that thoroughly will replace your loneliness, because it will tell you that you're making efforts to build something and to bring solution to your future. Otherwise, you will be sad for this one, and you will be also crying for another thing, which would be having messed up the only chance that you could have to make and provide and bring about a better future. That's the problem then. Don't let that become the real problem. All right, let's go to Peter. Peter says, conventional wisdom is almost always wrong. Every worthy dream has a pay price to action. That means you have to give up something to get something. You can't have it all. Is this so, Mehran? Well, maybe you can have it all, but not all at the same time. So in that way, if you prioritize your life and what's important at a given time between the things that are available, you can't have enough time and enough attention, enough money and finances to go after so many projects that you can think of and it's viable and you can make them happen. You got to prioritize them. This one now, and this one maybe next year, and this one maybe after I've accomplished these, and use their finances and the hopefulness and the the catapult that I've used them to throw me further. Then I can use those opportunities and accomplishments to now bring about this new venture. You can maybe have them all, but not all at the same time. If you can prioritize them, understand what you got to give up something a certain time to be able to be active in this and get this to come to fruition, and then later on another project. Different times maybe you can end up having it all, including proper relationship when it is time for it and a qualified candidate will be found. But it may not all happen at the same time. So in that sense, yes, it's true. But in the sense that you can't have it all, yeah, you may be able to have it all, but only in sequences, different times of life. Patience. Let them develop. It's like saying, I can't have the whole orchard filled with all kinds of trees in the same year. Yeah, you can't have it all at the same given span of time. But you can have the orchard having all kinds of trees if you plant them in the right season, wait for them till they're stronger, and then next one in the right season, because you can't plant everything in summer or everything in winter or everything in fall. Different plants have different time span, different temperature they need. So you may not be able to have them all at the same time planted, but you can plant them all in different times. So you will end up having an orchard which has all trees, or most of the trees that you have on your roster, given the right time to pursue them and plant them. Not all at the same time, but you can have them all if you schedule the time properly. So Jean says, thank you for the always inspiring words. You're welcome. Rachel says, thank you for your response. God bless. You're welcome, dear. El Haj says, thank you, sir. I'm going to join. I will go in as a nurse in the National Guard. All right. Go for it. Enjoy. Foil Grim. Timmy, 35 US male. She walked out after 5 years. I tried to fix it. I took responsibility for my faults, thinking she would too. She never apologized and was nasty. She talked down to me when I tried to be respectful. Yeah, but that doesn't represent all women. She's like that, so move on from her and go to the next possibility. And there will be a lot more possibilities that you can think of. So you don't have to be abused by anyone. Whether you're a man or a woman, doesn't matter. Nobody should be abused by anyone. So if that's the kind of a relationship, the kind of a feedback you get from your ex or whoever it is that you're with, just move on. You know, life is not cannot be summed up in one relationship or one woman. Just move on. There's so many other possibilities out there. Don't be fooled by when someone tries to talk down with you and make you feel miserable. There's no reason. Who are they? What have they accomplished? And even if they have accomplished everything, they have no right to disrespect you or to put you down. So the best thing to do is to walk away. Do your own thing. You don't need anyone to affirm you. If you simply be a decent person, affect the society and community in a positive manner, be a good role model for others, do your best, be fair and balanced, don't harm anyone, don't ill wish anyone, just do your things. You don't have to put up with that kind of shit. All right, let's go on to Olin Relic says, hello Mehran. Hello dear. I'm 45, male, Wisconsin, USA. Thank you. I've followed you for about 2 years now. 2 years ago, my wife of 13 years left. I'm stepfather to her children. They are now 20 and 2. Whoa, what a big difference, 20 and 2. Oh, 20 and 24. Okay, thank you. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, well, something's wrong here, man. Because I was calculating 2 years ago, your wife left after 13 years. And what happened in that 2 years ago? You guys had a baby and she left? Okay. Or she got a baby with somebody else. So they are now 20 and 24. Sorry, typing. Yeah, I know, I got it. After she left, our boys want nothing to do with her. Ooh. Even though you're stepfather and she's the real mom. Our boys want nothing to do with her. My youngest changed his name legally to mine. It's a very different life than what we were used to. She was a very good wife and mother for last 2 years. Oh, very good wife and mother, and for the last 2 years our heads are just spinning from what she's done. She cheated, hurt the family bad enough that her boys don't want to trust her. It's hard seeing a family be torn apart. She has moved on, and I respect that. I'm trying to be a good example to our boys. I have their best interest at heart. For the last 2 years, I've just been pausing. What I am having a hard time with is I totally believed in her as a human being. Well, that is a conflict right there. Totally believed in her as a human being. Human being is an incomplete, constantly changing consciousness. How can you think that this human being is qualified to be totally believed in as a constant and absolute? That was your mistake. I'm not saying you shouldn't have believed in her while you guys were together by being surprised that this human being, which is in a species that is most changeable and oscillates more than any other being that I know of, is a mistake. If you now begin to look at her as exactly as you said, human being, then it would explain to you what she has done, because she's a human being. She's not perfect. She made a mistake and she's continuously making mistakes, or whatever it is she's doing, but it shouldn't shock you. Your pain is because you build her in such a way in your mind, in a certain image you created of her in your mind, that now her actuality represents a total difference between what you had in your mind of her and what she actually turned out to be now, which could have been any time, as anybody could change, or some people at least could change. So this whole expectation, having perceived her all along as a constant absolute image, was what set you up for the big shock and hurt and disbelief. Because you thought the image you had created of her is what's what she's all about. And that image pulled a wool over her eyes that you could not see her as she was, and perhaps the changes that was being made. Or in a certain way you thought of her that was contrary to possibilities, to the point that you couldn't even fathom that she could ever make a mistake, which is fine. But when she did, you should have considered her as a human being rather than seeing her with the eye of the image you had made off of her. You perceived her based on the image you created of her. And that's what's shocking you. See her for what she is. This is not that girl that you were living with and she was all good and so on and so forth. This girl should not be surprising to you anymore, because everybody can change, and this girl has changed. No longer should be looked upon as the same woman and then feel sad for yourself that this is the same woman that is doing these things. No, this is a different woman. That same woman is not her. She is not that same woman. So that at least brings down the level of shock in you, and you would see, so it's possible. So I'm not really shocked from an impossibility being turned into this. I can actually expect it, because she's human being changes, and she's not that woman that I lived with for 13 years. Now let's go on. Say, I totally believed in her as a human being. The good memories hurt me. I understand why I'm feeling this way. I've watched a lot of your videos. Let's see what else we have here. Which have helped me a lot. It's hard to let go, but I understand why it's needed. But it's hard to witness someone you completely committed your life to become someone who threw away her family morals. Yes. But focus on the fact that she threw away family morals. But family morals hasn't been thrown away. Family morals, yours, your children, your characteristics, your values, who you are, still there, still there. Her actions, in her mind, is neglecting to recognize the importance of those family values and morals. But the family morals and values, because of her behavior, is not changed, is not tarnished, is not damaged in any way, shape, or form. Her actions is not a reflection on the family. Her actions is a reflection of her own shortcomings. Her actions is a reflection on her. It hasn't done anything to you or to the children, other than the fact that you are disappointed with her not contributing the same kind of values and energy to the core values that you guys had built together. So it's a two different thing. You can feel sorry and disappointed in her, but you cannot think that her action has actually changed the quality of your family. The values are the same. Again, I go back to the same example. A family, a bunch of people in a restaurant sitting on a table, around the table, not on a table. That would be funny. Everybody's sitting on the sitting around table, and they bring the food. Everybody has plates in front of them, and they bring a big, huge dish of food so everybody will share. And that's a spaghetti. They put it in the middle of the table. A big dish of beautiful, aromatic spaghetti bolognese, or vegetarian, however you want. Now, one member of the family stops eating, says, I don't like it. Does that change the quality of the spaghetti? Does that change the amount of love and interest the other members of the family or the people who are sitting around the table have for that dish, for that spaghetti? It doesn't. The spaghetti still remains the same, and the interest of the others about eating and enjoying that food will remain the same. Only that person's action reflects certain sadness that she's not sharing the same food that everybody loves. But it doesn't take anything away from the taste of the spaghetti. It doesn't take away any from the enjoyment of it. Maybe just because she's not sharing what you guys are sharing. But otherwise, nothing else in the quality and nutrition values of the spaghetti and the interest of the rest would change. And the sustenance that you would receive through eating that spaghetti would not change. Only she is the one who's decided not to participate or not like this. But her choice of not liking what's on the table doesn't change the quality and the taste and interest of what is on the table, the food that is being served there. So her action is not a reflection on the food, on the rest of the people around the table. Her action is only a reflection on her that separates her from that whole agreed upon, pre-scheduled activity. So why would you then be so keen to think there's something wrong? Only that part, so small part, but otherwise the family and the moral values and everything else still the same. And Olin continues, which have helped me a lot. It's hard to let go, but I understand why it's needed. But it's hard to witness someone you completely committed for life to become someone who threw away her family morals. Yeah, okay. But she threw away her family morals. Like, she stopped eating from that dish, but the dish is still there. Family morals still there. Everything else still there. I understand the dilemma you have, but that means all you have to do is to eventually, when you're ready, find another person qualified to enjoy that same dish and the family values and replace her on that part of the table. That's all. Yeah, and I understand all the predicaments and pain and all that, so forth, the memories and so on. I understand all that. But what you gonna do? You have a choice. Either follow, let her action bring more misery and make you submerge into memory and live a life of memory rather than the actuality, and let this life, what you call living, turn to be the death of the past, which you'll always be in the memory, and therefore you separate yourself from the actuality of life and live in the memory by being constantly busy with the sorrow of her action, that the fact that she's not there. Or you say, so what? That's her choice. That does not limit my ability to live the life the way I see fit and I see proper, which means I am going to stop thinking about what she did and the fact that she broke this vase and she broke this organization. I'm gonna be hoping to someday, when things fall in place, find somebody wonderful who would fit this interest in this spaghetti, in this dish, in this what we have in morality, in this family build-up, and then place it with interest and to occupy that place. That's it. What else you want to do? And I was just about to read it, but you are taking them away. So am I not supposed to read them? or have they been answered possibly? So he says, whatever that was that you took away, says, made me not trust as easily, but I want to find love again. Yes, and you should. To be able to trust in another again. Well, you know, trust is a relative thing. You cannot have a contract written that you will trust her and she will never change. People can change. So you simply accept the fact that you will continue this journey with someone as long as they are light and ready to go and bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and they are coming on the train and going through this journey with the rest of the family. And when they no longer are interested, they want to part path, they may say so, and you will find another. That's all you can expect. There is no guarantee that people will be always the way that you were compatible or you see them as they were. People can change. That's one of the good or bad characteristics of human beings. Sometimes I feel like I'm just a hermit on a mountain. I'm at where I'm at, because this is where I'm supposed to be at. Yes, possibly. It wasn't my destiny to be her husband. What is so great to be her husband? Why do you think your greatness would depend on being her husband? As if she's a bloody all that you being her husband will give you a certain echelon. No, it's a two-way street. If she's good enough, it's good to be her husband. If she's not complying, what's good to be her husband? So why would you miss it at all? If she has changed and no longer bringing stability to the entity that you have created, that you guys have created, why would it be important for you to envy the fact that you're not her husband? She's not qualified anymore. No longer qualified. If she was the girl that you would meet today, you would not qualify her to marry her. And now that she has chosen, she's changed. Therefore, she's not the girl that she used to be. Therefore, if she was the way she is now, then if when you met her, she was the kind of girl that she's showing she is now, you would not find her, you would not pursue her. So what's the difference? Then you wouldn't pursue her, but now that she's no longer as she used to be, you think she's still qualified? No, she can't be qualified. So on that note, no regrets. You're happy. You're happy that you don't have somebody who's no longer qualified to pretend she is, and that you would want to be her husband. Why would you? Why would you? People are their consciousness, not their body. And you think the pleasure that you had with her companionship or conversation or whatever, or the body, is still going to justify and is who she is? No, she's what her consciousness is. And her consciousness is now in such a way that doesn't hold water anymore, cannot sit at the table anymore, does not comply with what you guys are all about anymore, which makes her a different person. Her consciousness is changed, is a different person, no longer qualified to fit the machine that you want to run, to be the part of this whole thing that you guys had set together. Now it's time for her to be replaced. And you stop thinking that it's of any honor to be her husband. What for? What? What do you guys think that just because a female can give you pleasure through sex and all these other things that you're perhaps used to, and then it's qualified, it's something honorable to be her husband? What for? If she doesn't have the characteristics and qualities that you're looking for, which makes her to be a person that she is, what are you being a husband to? A body? An entity? A physical entity? With so many physical entities out there, one more beautiful than the other. But that's not what you make a relationship with. You make the relationship with the consciousness of the person. That's where the person is. What makes that body tick is what you're building what you're building relationship with. And if that's the case, this one doesn't have what you used to have a relationship, build your relationship on. No longer she has that. So you can't have that relationship with, therefore, no longer qualified. Therefore, You cannot miss being her husband. You don't want to be her husband because she's not the one who could qualify for you to be a husband for. And says, we'll be with her. It was my destiny to be with her. What? At where I am at because this is where I'm supposed to be at. It wasn't my destiny to be her husband, but my destiny was to be their father. It's not about destiny. It's about that's how it is. And that's perfect. You feel great to be their father. They're good boys. They love you and you love them. Continue. Nothing has changed. Whoever falls off of this wagon that is in the move, decides to fall off purposely, so be it. Free country. Free choice. Democracy. But it was my destiny, but my destiny was to be their father because they needed one and I will be till I die. Good for you. My question is, so all of this time that I talked was for nothing? They were not answers that you were seeking? My question is, Olin says, by the way, Olin, where are you from? I forgot. Maybe I can find it. Let's see. My question is, how do I put my guard down now to meet someone new? Leap of faith? There's no guard. What are you guarding for? Are you thinking that she represents all the women out there? That's a disrespect to all women. She is making her own choices, and everybody else making their own choices, and all choices are not the same. So there is no need for guard. It's not like they're going to attack you. You open your eyes. You see if you guys are compatible, if consciousnesses are meeting, if interests are in harmony, compatibility is there. You court each other for a while, a long while, and then figure out if it's a part that could fit into the family that you have, and if you could fit into a family that she might be having or she's looking for. There's no guard needed. Put your guard down right away. There's no guard needed. There's no attack coming. It's a matter of judgment. You see if it's appropriate, if it's compatible, if it's qualified, you pursue. If not, you don't. What's the guard there? And you might make a mistake, or she may change again as well too. So what? Then next, life continues. You know? Life continues. If you really want to be a good father, then focus on the kids, focus on your career, focus on making money, and when the right candidate appears, you will see how you guys can get along, and she will become the new girlfriend and the new important part of your life. All right, let me now go back to see where I was. Jean says, life is up and down. Thanks, Mehran. Very well explained. Up and down like the price of Bitcoin. Now, the best DVG says, hey, Mehran, 24 male. And where from? You forgot that part. Where are you tuning in from? 24 male. I broke up 3 months ago, and since then I can't find a relationship. Well, what do you think it is? Just a it's floating in the parking lot. 3 months, so what? Suck it up. Wait, what's a hurry? 3 months, and since then I can't find a relationship, and I feel need for it, like it's some kind of validation. Yeah, okay, I see. Yeah. You think you gotta have the next girlfriend in order to feel that nothing has been diminished from you by her leaving you. Nothing has. It's all in your mind. I've discussed in many other videos, which I can't go through them right now. You got to go to my channel and see the videos one by one. And soon I will have packages for you guys to purchase, whoever was interested in, which has a certain number of videos already selected in that package. And then the next package would be another package with all the videos necessary for you to move on after breakup, but it will be updated. Always new star videos that are produced will be added to it without you have to pay for it, at least for 1 year. And plus you will have all books included in ebook version, and you will have possibly a 30-minute consultation talk with me included in the package. So I have a wonderful total ultimate breakup cure package coming. As soon as my program puts it up together, it will be up for sale on the mindthatseekstruth.com site, and that will give you all these videos that you're looking for in one place. You don't have to look around out of 1,300 videos and figure out which one I should watch first, which one for me at this situation. So that will be a good guideline for you. But in the meantime, the fact that you think that validation is important is because of all through our childhood we have been conditioned to understand the value of woman and how important woman is in our lives. We were given birth by a woman. That's one of the beginning of the importance of it. We are fed, protected, helped, taken care of by a woman. Many of you, at least I had, are teachers at elementary school, kindergarten, elementary school, were women, and we understood the discipline that they introduced to us. We understood the importance of their affirmation, their being pleased with us. So we are conditioned from childhood to think a woman's affirmation is tremendously important to us. That's why now when we have a girlfriend and the girlfriend leaves, it triggers a dissatisfaction of a woman, which we have been conditioned to think is very important, and that hurts us. That makes us feel unworthy. That is something, when you understand where it's coming from, you would be okay and not think that the girlfriend leaving means anything has been diminished from you, or you're no longer worthy, or you need affirmation because she took her affirmation away. That's not the case anymore when you understand where the roots of this is. Because if you look at her, she's just a human being, a physical being with full of shit that necessarily, not necessarily because she's a female, she's just as high quality as we are used to think of a woman. Not every woman is that woman that you always hoped to have the affirmation and approval of, like your mother, your children, and so on, your teachers, and so on. So you will see that this is an entity. She is not, her value is not just in her physical appearance, which you're programmed to like. If you're a heterosexual male, you're programmed to be interested in female, and the fact that she's a female, it represents a certain importance to you. But you have to focus on that. Her importance is in her consciousness, her behavior, her knowledge, her manners, the way of carrying herself, and her characteristics and conduct. And when you focus on that, then you don't think just merely the fact that she has left you that warrants the fact for you to think that you're no longer qualified or you're not worthy. Maybe a piece of shit left you. Because just because she's a female, that doesn't mean she's all that. If she's all that or not, it has a lot to do with what's in her consciousness. And the consciousness that left you why should you think about that it takes anything away from you? Because you're conditioned to think if she can bring pleasure to you, she's really all perfect. Because you're conditioned, your whole life is based around pleasure. And if you find something that gives you pleasure, you have an extraordinary value for it. And because through relationship with her, you would get pleasure from, sexual pleasure, intimacy pleasure, automatically made you feel that she's so highly important because pleasure is so highly sought after. And you got to be able to separate these two. Just because she's a source of pleasure for you in some ways, her companionship or whatever else, all physical pleasures that we're talking about, that doesn't mean she's also qualified to be put in the place that all the important women in your life have been put because of how they contributed to your life and they made you valuable because of their care and attention and influences on you. So you gotta clear these two away from each other. Just because she's a female doesn't make her fully qualified for you to have to feel awe about her. She has to show her humanity, her persona, and that's in her consciousness. And if that consciousness is not working together, is not compatible, and she leaves you, well, nothing comes off of you, and you should be okay with it. Don't be shocked, and don't think that, oh, a female, a source of pleasure, has left me, therefore I am of no value, because my whole life is set around pleasure. If I can attract pleasure, that means I'm worthy. If I can't, then I'm not worthy. That's not the case. You have to value women a lot more than that, to think of them as just physical beings and then consider their contribution to your life only based on pleasure, sexual pleasure, or the pleasures that you receive from them. So honor them, respect them, and then also you will see who does deserve the respect that you want to offer and who doesn't, based on their qualities and compatibilities and the contents of their consciousness, not based on just the fact that they look good in high heels. All right. Let's read the rest. Broke up 3 months ago. I can't find relationship and I feel need for it, like some kind of validation I seek. I play guitar, workout, dance. I have IT career. Oh wow, gee, you got all going for you. So don't even bat an eye. It will come when it's time. And he says, I feel like my value is above average. I feel confident, but I feel unlucky. Can't seem to find a decent enough girl. Don't know what is wrong with me. What I like. Nothing. Nothing. You are too focused on looking for something versus of living. When you start living, different energy will be exuded from you. You will be happy because you'll be content. But while you're looking for something and you haven't found it, that unhappiness will show and exude out of you, and others feel it. They feel that you're not happy. And that's when you cannot attract them. But when you live your life, your career, your guitar, your dancing, your socializing, your whatever it is that you like to do, you will be content and happy. And then that energy will be a different energy that others will feel from you. And that would be when you will have a better chance to, first of all, enjoy your days, enjoy your life. While you're living and enjoying, you will then eventually, when you find the girl that you feel is qualified enough, you would not have been waiting for it and being unhappy through this waiting period. And you will just find it when you least expect it, and you see, wow, that wasn't difficult. But if you keep looking for it, you will always keep track of time. Oh, I'm looking, I still haven't found it. I still haven't found it. I still haven't found it. I still haven't. It's all about disappointment and depression. But if you don't look for it, so conscious about looking for it, full force, full time, and focus on living and doing your things, then when it happens, and you will not have that disappointment and feeling of depression, even though everything else is going well for you as the activities that you have. And the fact that you don't feel that great is because you're constantly focusing on what you're not finding, rather than just focusing on how to live and enjoy the life that you have. And then you will not have a problem waiting for when the time comes and you find that qualified candidate. All right. Mark Mersin says, hey Mehran, I'm 24-year-old, broke up 2 years ago. My last relationship hurt me really a lot. What made me kind of secured to girls? I just don't feel any pleasure from spending time with them. Sometimes I consider that maybe I'm gay. I have a lot of friends. Is it normal? Just because you haven't found the girl that you like or approve of, why does it have to mean that you're gay? You know, if you don't find something that you're looking for, why should you conclude that you're not who you are? Well, if you're gay, you will know you're gay. And just because you're not finding the right girlfriend, that is not good enough reason to think that you are gay. So whether you are or not, that would be clear to you by knowing how you feel about others. It's like saying I go to different restaurants and I don't find the food that I want, then maybe I'm not the person who likes this kind of food. You still want food, you just haven't found the right kind. Doesn't mean that you don't like food at all. It's not my knowledge to know if you're gay or not. You will know that. And if you're gay, you embrace it, you enjoy it, you live your life, because what makes us all valuable in life is based on the contribution we make to our societies and communities and the differences we make, the kind of role model we are for others and children and communities, and how positively we affect our communities. It doesn't have anything to do with what kind of gender or color or religion you have. That said, it doesn't mean just because you haven't found a girlfriend, that means you're gay. Many young people go through their life, and then when they don't find the right emotional connection, they start doubting themselves. Be patient. That's not good enough reason to think about, if you are this or that. Mersin says, I really care about me, about trends, etc. Sometimes I can look kind of gay in eyes of girls. I really have problems with self-confidence in that area. No, that's not enough to decide on that topic. You will know yourself. It's not something for me to say. But I think just because you haven't found what you're looking for, that doesn't mean you shouldn't be looking for it, or if you're not looking for it. It's not that. Many people go through life and they have more femininity in themselves, or than others. But again, that is something that I don't have an opinion on. Everybody can figure that out by themselves. So you just see how you feel, and perhaps you will talk with some of your friends who are gay and ask them, and talk to some of your friends that are heterosexual and ask them, discuss it with your friends and see how they feel. But it is not something about what other people tell you, it's about how you feel yourself. And you would have known that from your childhood. Sometimes during childhood, people could receive attention which attracts them, and that may make them feel they're gay because they have the attention of another guy. And that just because they're children, they don't know enough of how they feel, and attention and kindness. And a man could introduce femininity to you, and you may think you like the man. No, you like the femininity. And when a woman comes around and you say, yeah, that's the femininity I want, but the femininity is what attracts you, not necessarily the man. So it could be misunderstood if you are or not gay. So you got to be careful to know what it is good for you, what you are, what you're not. And these are things that you can discuss with your counselors or doctors or your parents or your friends, and then figure out for yourself, because I really don't have much of a long distance answer for that. So hope you'll figure out. Now, and Alex says, I like another girl and it's stormy. Oh, maybe I should go up to different. Alex says, I like another girl and it's not my girlfriend. What to do? Well, I don't know how old you are and how long you've been with your girlfriend. I think if you really think you like another girl and not this girlfriend that you're with, you should discuss it with your girlfriend and see where your relationship is, and break up with one before you go to the next one. Just unless you have a certain clear arrangement between the two of you. The manly thing, gentlemanly thing, is to break up with one and go to the next one. Alex says, if you want to grow, go in Instagram. But Instagram, you can only have, what, 60-second video. How can I have a long video there? Adam says, men are not concerned about how much a woman earns, but women are. Women are hypergamy in nature, and social media, reality shows, have prompted this empowering woman, but it is causing a lot of imbalance in modern relationships. Well, you know, everybody should be independent, so they don't have to put up with anybody's shit just because they need to. So I think women also should be able to be making their own money, be educated, have their own money, and not be under the thumb of a man. And the relationship should be independent from the need for finances and comfort. And that way, then it will be a healthy relationship. Otherwise, you'll never know. And the woman is never really comfortable to be free to interact in the way she likes, because she's always worried about what if the guy stops, you know, supporting her. That's not healthy for the woman either. So it should be on both. Both should be independent financially, and then have their relationship and help each other. Well, anyhow, these days it's so difficult. Life is expensive, and they all should have, you know, financial independence and help each other. Okay. Ashley says, it's true about your advice about relationships. a man should love himself before exhibiting it to a woman. Yes, of course. Bartos says, thanks for your golden words. Mobbing means sociological issues where someone stronger is treating bad someone else. For example, boss in the IC. All right, that's a word. It's a slang word, I guess. And Bartos says, question, I notice that sometimes when I'm in bed, I have thoughts like I wish she could give me another chance. I wish she knew that I loved her. How to stop having that feeling? Don't have to stop it. It's kind of like feeling guilty for killing someone. I'm repeating in myself, I have killed her. Killed what? The feeling? I don't remember what the story was, Bartos. Did she leave you or you left her? So why is it that you feel you killed the feeling? I notice that sometimes when I'm in bed, thoughts of I wish she could give me another chance. Yeah, okay, enjoy that. What's wrong with that? It's all fantasies that you will enjoy. Nothing wrong with it. But understand that it's okay if she doesn't. Move on. Find another woman. It will come. Don't be so hopeless and thinking that she was, you know, most men think that when they break up with their girlfriend, they think she was the only one. Not because they know she's not the only one. There's so many other women around. But the fact that they knew her and they feel, well, this one I had a contact with. It was already an opportunity. It was open. She accepted the contact. The connection was established. And so that's easier to go back because you think that same line is still open. So you keep having gravitation towards going back. You think the opportunity is still there. But no, you got to treat it as that's no way. It's a closed road. So you have better chance with the other new ones. It's not like just because it once was open connection, it's still open. It's now more difficult than before because now she has made a decision she doesn't want to. But the other woman that you don't know, they haven't made a decision that they don't want to. They're just not open to you. But the ex was open at one time and you're perceiving her as if she's still open. That possibility of relationship is still there. But the fact is, she has now made a decision that she does not want to. That's more difficult than the ones that are out there and a possibility. All right, let's see. Emmanuel says, I lost her. Emmanuel says, good evening, Mehran. Good evening, Emmanuel. Since you have a good understanding of economics business, what is your view on the fact that plastic is taking over the world as the primary material and metals have been left behind? Why is this happening? Well, metal hasn't been left behind for everything, but there are new technologies coming on, new strengths, and if it's lighter, easier for logistics, cheaper to ship, so they're looking for stronger materials when they're lighter than steel. Plastic in many parts can become, for certain things, strong enough to do the job, yet it's much lighter and easier to produce, easier to transport, cheaper to replace. Construction of whatever it is they're using it to construct it becomes cheaper. Sellability for marketability will go higher, more people can afford it, versus the limited resources of iron or the production possibilities in the world, and less time they need to wait until they can be supplied by plastic material than steel material. And all that perhaps has a lot to do with it, which I don't think you want me to go through the rest of the year. And he says, is there any malice? I personally believe that industry leaders don't want products to last long. Yes, that is another possibility, because the sooner it breaks down, the sooner you have to replace it and buy it, which of course is not good for the pollutants and polluting the world. And we already see so much plastic bags in the rivers and so on, and affecting the sea life and stuff like that. So Olin says, I'm from Wisconsin. Hello, I love your wagon saying just now. Thank you. I value your wisdom and love listening and understanding. My pleasure, Olin. I am delighted that you enjoy the live talks and the videos. Petr says, the only thing in this life that you'll really regret are the risks and adventures you didn't take. Is anything about fear, Mehran? Is everything about fear? Well, I have a number of videos made on fear, and I don't know if you've watched the seminar I did at the local university a few years ago on the end of fear. You can go on my channel and key in the end of fear and you will have that video. It's about 45-50 minutes, and it's pretty elaborate and interesting, I think. It was in a classroom that I was invited by a group at a local university. So fear has a lot to do. Since our life is based on pleasure, is set around pleasure, where there is pleasure, there is fear. Where there is pleasure, there is fear. Fear of all kinds of things. You have fear all over, every day and everything. Fear of what the neighbor thinks of you, fear of the exams, fear of losing the job, fear of not getting a job, fear of the wife leaving you, the girlfriend leaving you, fear of this and that, so forth. And then a fear of the pleasure is a pleasure you have and you're fearful of not having it. You're taken away. I can't have that pleasure anymore. The fear of not having pleasure. And often you choose something based on the fear of not being lonely. You choose a relationship, not because that relationship is right, just because you're afraid of being lonely. And to compensate for that, you choose something that's out of fear, not out of selection. And there are lots of videos on fear that I have done on the channel. If you search it, just the word fear, they should bring a bunch of them for you. Shaht says, hi, hello. Excalibur says, a few days ago, it was raining and I went for a car ride with a random live of yours playing. I tend to like long drives, and the talk was over 2 hours, so it was perfect and very highly relaxing and entertaining. Lol. I now prefer it to real company sometimes. Oh my god. Well, I should start charging them, guys. What's going on? Am I entertainment piece now? Munib says, my ex told me last night that she had sex a month ago. I'm so disturbed by that. because she was a virgin. I need some advice. I don't understand. Your ex was a virgin and then she had sex with somebody else a month ago? Are you saying that you guys were boyfriend, girlfriend, but you haven't had sex, and she was a virgin while you guys were together? Now she has had sex with someone before you guys would have sex? Is that what you're saying? Obviously that means she wasn't what you thought she was, or the relationship wasn't what you thought it was. I don't know what to say. She did what she did. She has all the right to do what she wants to do, and you have all the right to decide if that's a girl for you or not. Not because she had sex with somebody else before you, or because she had sex while she was with you with somebody else. That could be a question. Adam says, Mehran, when MGTW, men go their own way, takes off, your channel will be very relevant to men. So I would get on it, my man. What is men go their own way? Is it a channel? I don't understand it. What do you mean when it takes off? Olin says, lol, your humor is awesome. Thank you, Mehran, for talking with me. Doing the right thing sometimes isn't easy. I will continue to watch and learn from your wisdom you pass on to many. Delighted that is helpful to you, Olin. Kalani says, my brother Mehran, hope you had a aloha Thanksgiving and hope your day is going good. Kalani 26, Hawaii Island. Hello Kalani and mahalo. And I did have a good Thanksgiving. I didn't know when it came and gone because I guess I was doing my own thing, and I haven't had meat for 3 months, so I didn't notice it. I had my regular stuff and it wasn't an issue. I didn't notice it, but I did hear about it. Let's put it this way. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving as well, and I thank you very much for your kindness, and I look forward to visit Hawaii sometime soon. The best DVG says, thank you, Mehran. A little tear dropped from my eyes from your speech. Answer, have a nice week. My pleasure, dear. My pleasure. I hope it's been helpful to you. Excalibur says, Mehran, my religion's scholars have different opinions on the topic of music. Some say it's fine, some say it's not. Guitar has been my passion since I was a kid, and now I've been playing for 10 years, and I've gotten the exact skill level that I dreamed of as a kid, but I can't shake the feeling of guilt that maybe I'm doing something against what God wants. Bollocks, bullshit, nonsense. Who is representing God and knows that God likes music or doesn't like music? These are all the bullshit that these clerics try to feed you and feed others to control them. If you are loving music and loving art or loving something, that takes away from the attention you can pay to them and their stuff that they're saying. So don't give up music for anything. In fact, the whole world, including our own selves, is resonating. It's all about music. In the old, thousands of years ago, people were being cured of their illnesses through resonations of sound. They were being brought in and a certain frequency was playing for the ailment that they had to fix them and repair them and heal them. And that can be true today too, but they're not using it. They're all using these drugs. Drug has its own place, I'm sure. But that old way of helping people to heal by music is all gone. So music has a very right place in our life, and it's very important. Don't give that up. Music is caressing the soul, brings certain kind of a mood and security and comfort and relaxation in you. I too played the guitar when I was much younger, and I still play a little bit here and there when I think of it. And it brings so much fun and so much relaxation, ingenuity, inventiveness, bringing the notes together, brings cognitive, it increases your ability to be interested, pay attention, be patient. Everything about it is good. Don't believe the bullshit that they're feeding you. And he says, same thing when I am listening to any piece of music that I enjoy greatly, the feeling of uncertainty and guilt hinders my enjoyment. Any thoughts? It's all bullshit. Enjoy it. Enjoy it thoroughly, and there is no such thing as God said music is not good. And I have heard that. I had a roommate in university, and not roommate, schoolmate. We all were in different dormitories. And in fact, that guy was a roommate of a friend of mine. And one day my friend came and said, this guy has broken all his records. In the old days we had no CDs or anything. It was all records, vinyls. And he's broken everything and smashed them to pieces. And he said, because some Christian bishop or pastor had told him that these will not let you think about God and you should destroy him, music is not good. And the guy destroyed all of that, and then later on again he had to go and buy him, I guess. I don't know. And now I hear that other people, I don't know what your religion is, but maybe, I don't know if you're Muslim or not, or if you're Christian, I'm not sure. But other religions have, some of them I've heard that but it's all nonsense. What does music have to do with, it's like saying, don't listen to music because it's going to affect your math. No, it's all a way of controlling. So don't listen to that bullshit. Enjoy the music, enjoy playing it, enjoy enjoying it, enjoy listening to it. All of it is great, wonderful. And Zila says, hello, I watch your videos and help me a lot. I'm delighted to hear that. I get divorced of a 10-year marriage, but we have kids. Now I feel culprit of leave a woman and a 7-year-old kid. You don't have to leave your kid. Still be active and be a father that you are. Never leave your kid. But our marriage was terrible, bad communication and so on. Well, okay, that happens, but don't relinquish your responsibilities for the child. Be there for him. Be the best father you can be, and help the mother as well. Just make good communication now that you're not together, at least for the sake of the child. Make sure he's comfortable, loved, and protected at all times. Excalibur says, men go their own way is men who are sick of women and choose to not engage with them any longer, Mehran. Really? Why? Women is very important. Woman is the flower of this life. If you're a heterosexual male and you love women, you should always love women, respect them, love them, protect them. You may not want to be with them, that's okay, but the whole idea that they exist is like a garden that has flower or doesn't have a flower. World without the woman is not really worth living. It's like a garden that has no flower in it. It's all what? Sticks of trees here and there. What beauty is that? The aroma, the beauty, the finesse, the touch, the difference they make. The woman is inspiring. You gotta love women. And Excalibur says, certainly not a channel, just the Western men sick of women, sick of Western women. Okay. Women are not all the same, Western or Eastern. They're all good and bad in them, like any other. Men, they're good and bad in any culture, in any part of the world, any country. Abhi says, hello, good morning. Hello, Abhi. It's 5:30 a.m. How are you? Hope you're fine. I'm fine here too. That's great, Abhi. Glad to hear that. Bartos says, thanks for all your help. I don't know how can I repay for your work. Last question. For 2 years, I haven't met any girl with who I feel attracted. So keep waiting. It's all right. They just don't had that thing which my ex had. Any ideas? Yes. If it was not your ex and you were married to somebody else, now you would call what that somebody else had that thing that your ex had. Which means every woman has that thing. You only have to forget about your ex and whatever she was, because that's no longer in your life. So why you keep thinking about that? And focus on what other thing which could be far better. Manners, characters, and finesse, and the touch, the whole affection and interaction. The other women will have an offer when you get to know them. So focus on that. Don't keep thinking about the past. If the ex was the right girl, she would still be with you. So if it's ex, that means it's no longer qualified to be thought about so much. Adam says it's a mean movement, the reality of female nature and the mind games women play in relationship, and how men can stop prioritizing women above everything. I see. That's what it means. Kerry Kuhn says music is food for the soul. Yes, absolutely. How many times have you felt good because of the music? How many times you feel bad because of music? How many times you find to fine-tune and enhance your mood by finding the right music? Tunes is everything. We all have rhythm, and music is what sets the rhythm. Everything has a music in it. It's like saying, whoever said to you music is not good and God doesn't want it, well, then that means put all the sounds out. Make us all deaf, or stop the sound of water flowing on the over the rocks on the riverbed. Water flowing on the ocean. I have music. These are all music. Just because they're not being sold or they're not in an orchestra, you don't call them music. The sound of the wind on the trees is a music. When the snow falling down, it's a music. You can listen to it. When the bird flies, there's music. So is music only when it's on the CD and you're playing it? So everything should be something that God doesn't want, if that's the case. So that means the whole world should stop, because everything has a sound, right? Everything is a music. All right. How far do we go with that? Then we stop sounds of everything. And what? We got to go deaf now, or make everything be without sound. You know, that's crazy. Let's don't go there. All right. Enzil says she had a very complicated childhood. She comes from divorced parents and many economic problems, but I can't anymore. Yeah, okay, but don't abandon the child. Child is your son or daughter. Take care of her or him. Excalibur says, the roommate who bought the records again cracked me up. Well, yeah, he went berserk and believed in that clergy and broke all his records, all the good ones, and then had to buy them again, I guess. I don't know what it is. So Excalibur says yes, but the MGTOW is a similar group believe that women are hypergamous. They will jump to another man if he is better, and backstabbing bitches. That's why they avoid them like the plague. But they're not all women are like that. We have assholes in men. So are we supposed to think all men are abusers, assholes, narcissists, bastards? No, they're bad and good in everybody. Men bad and good, women bad and good, you know. Excalibur, okay, it says, time to celebrate, Mehran. You reached the end of the mountain of the questions. Did I? Have I? Let's see. I still have a few here. Bardot says, until today, I have met only 3 women who had that thing. People say that boys seek girls who are similar to mother. Not necessarily. They expect the motherhood values possibly, which are the high values that one expects from a woman, but not necessarily to be like their mother. Olin says, it seems nowadays we are a throwaway civilization. Is it because technology makes it so we don't need each other as much? Survival in the past dependent on companionship, working together. Well, that's a very good subject and a long discussion. Perhaps we can do it next time. There are lots of things that have changed. Certainly, world was not this independent and separated from each other. Promises were promises. Families were stick together. Women and men, when they could get together, the commitments would have meant something. Now this whole idea of money is everything and you got to go for fun and pleasure is a total different thing. In fact, today I wanted to do this and then make a small short video about happiness and pleasure. And now, I don't know, it's too dark now to make it. Perhaps I'll do it tomorrow. And that would maybe have shed a little bit of light on these topics. But yeah, I agree, the quality of relationships are not the same as before. It's basically based on fun and pleasure and sex and things and commodities and what you can do. And the whole meaning of life has become a little bit unclear to people, what would give meaning to life was all those wonderful values and cohesiveness, support, solid bases, and we lack that these days. Whether it's due to technology and whatnot, not sure, but I think it's about our consciousness and our values and our conditionings more than anything else. We've been conditioned through whatever medium and influences. We can discuss that, but it's all through the conditioning. Excalibur says, from my understanding, the music thing orientated from in the very early days, music was used to make prostitutes dance or something, and that's how it was shunned. No, well, you know, even then it shouldn't be shunned. No, music is good whether you dance to it, somebody else dance to it, or it's used when an event is going on, a dancing event, danced by whomever. Music is good. There's nothing to do with music. Yeah, I understand what you're saying though. Enzel says, when you go live again, I think next Friday, and try to make it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday if I can. Depends really, you know. Right now it's over 3.5 hours, and I hope everybody has clicked on like. Olin says, it seems self-centered thinking is very much alive now. What is good for me and not what is good for the whole tribe. Yeah. Adam says, men are not as valuable because of technology. Okay. Excalibur says, take care, Mehran, and don't disappear. It's always a pleasure. Okay, thank you. And Renis says, this is crazy. Now I have a required reading list of any woman I will wish to go on a long-term relationship. Okay. All right, guys, looks like we hit all the questions. Now, with a clear conscience, I can say thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you sharing your time and being part of this conversation. I love you all, and thank you for being here. I look forward to talking to you again. In the meantime, be good to yourself and the others, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.